New inventory arriving weekly. The Golf Nut, everything you need to play better.
Do you feel that, Arkansas? The Lotto jackpot is now more than $1 million. Why should you care? Because this $1 million+ prize can only be won in Arkansas. There are 2 Lotto drawings every week, and the jackpot keeps growing until there's a winner. Join the fun and play Lotto today. A $2 ticket could change your life. Get yours in stores today. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Mostly sunny sky today. We may see an isolated shower or rumble of thunder across the north. High temperatures into the middle 80s. Chance of seeing showers and a few thunderstorms tonight. An overnight low will drop down close to the upper 50s. South, right around the 50-degree mark. North, another round of showers and storms cooler on Saturday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for wine, specialty beers, and liquor. Located at 12100 Highway 71 South in Fort Smith. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, you're listening to ESPN 95.3. ERX Paris, Fort Smith. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Name of one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones. The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome into halftime. Good morning, 11:01. Whatever the team's been doing for the last more than week and a half, just keep it going. If it's pickle juice shots, if it's just fundamentals, if it's confident, whatever it is, keep it going. A lot of fun last night at Baum-Walker Stadium. We'll have a lot of fun here on halftime for the next 3 hours. I'm Phil Elson in the Baum-Walker home booth. Matt Jones in the home studio, and Kristen Johnston also standing by. And over the next 3 hours, we'll talk with Neil Atkinson from Bet Sarazen at 1:15. James Teague, former Razorback pitcher, and from the Teague Law Firm at 12:15. Aaron Torres coming up in about 15 minutes. Good morning to you, Matt Jones. The guys kept the streak going yesterday, 6-3, 6 straight wins, and with some of the little things that were the difference in the win yesterday.
I like it. Playing with a little confidence, just keeping your nose to the grindstone, keep chopping wood, so to speak. I like it. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it, and it tells a lot about you as the character, as the leader, and as teammates. When you face a little adversity, how do you handle it? Do you duck your head and don't get any better and lose 16 in a row, or do you fight back and figure it out and start making a stand? Couldn't be prouder for those guys.
Yeah, well, they certainly look like they have figured something out. And there'll be a few more answers to whatever questions people have later today at 6 o'clock for the second game of the series. I'll tell you one thing, that Georgia team can hit. You can tell just by the way they swing the bat, by the way they take their pitches, by the way that Arkansas had to make some plays in the field, I think, to win the game yesterday. So you're definitely going to get Georgia's best shot. But the Hogs gave him a really good shot yesterday. Lots of other things to get into as well. Fox Sports CEO Eric Shanks has become the latest to endorse the 24-team college football playoff. Of course, they're basically part of the de facto owners of the Big Ten, and that's what the Big Ten has wanted. No updates on the transfer portal for Arkansas men's or women's basketball yet. We know that the women's team got a couple of transfers that we talked about yesterday. Beautiful Waheed and Gianna Morris, a couple of guards. Jeremiah Wilkinson was officially announced as a signee for Arkansas yesterday. Cooper Bowser, of course, had announced earlier in the week. Looks like Live Golf is probably going to die a slow death once their season is concluded. And that just kind of, to me, Matt, goes to show that it's kind of tough to beat the entrenched sports now. You know, they had a giant investment from the Saudi investment fund. And I'd seen where that fund is also thinking about maybe divesting some of their soccer holdings too. So it just looks like a major change in the way that the Saudis are going to spend their money. Might be some other things going on in that part of the world, but I do think it's pretty difficult to entrench upon the leagues that have been going for a long, long time. Just think of the USFL, WHA, ABA, and Live Golf would be the latest. Not like that's anything I'd ever watched before, but I guess some of those Live golfers are going to have to undergo a process to get back on the PGA Tour because that's the only place they'll be able to play next.
Well, you know, I'm not for keg stands with my golf. I'm not for a DJ booth with my golf. I mean, I might sound like the old grumpy man, but I'm not for shorts on the golf course. Like there's an etiquette. It's a gentleman's sport. There's a competitive nature about 72 holes, and where you go off, where the worst goes first, and you go on the weekend. You have a cut. Excuse me.
No, you're all right. You're all right. It almost, this seems to me also, I mean, the guys that went over to Live Golf, is it legitimate? They did it specifically for the money, first and foremost.
Well, they got
no other reason.
Yeah.
And now the money is going to evaporate, and they've been left with their cheese hanging out of the wind.
Well, it's like having a super league. You have to have competition. You have to have order. You can't just say, hey, let's just take the 30 best teams and put them in a league. It's not going to work that way because there won't be 30, 10, and 2 teams. You know, you got to have the way you go about it. And yeah, they give them their money up front, and then it's 54 holes. And it's not that you're not competitive and you're not going to want to go try and all that stuff. And it's more of a team sport. But it's a cute idea to do one golf tournament a year like that. You know, like to divide.
Where's the incentive to win?
It's not a seat. Exactly. It's an exhibition. That's what it is. And most people think you can just throw money at stuff and it's going to fix it. And that's what they did. They just threw a lot of money at everybody. And, you didn't get Rory. You got an aging Phil Mickelson that cashed in. You're trying to get certain guys. You didn't get Tiger. I'd heard Tiger turned down $500 million, which who knows now, but that's the name in sport.
Just think of how you put it there for a moment, and all the different teams that you've seen in whatever professional sport that tried to paper over deficiencies by throwing money at the deficiencies. Right. And I mean, the Mets are the kind of the exception to the rule in baseball, at least, because the other 6 out of the 7 teams that spent the most made the playoffs. The team that spent the most money, the Dodgers, last year came out yesterday. I think it was $512 million is what they spent on payroll when you add in the luxury tax that they had to pay.
Is that worth it in today's market? I guess it's a whole other topic we can get into, but is that worth it to win a title and to spend that? Are you making any money that way? I mean, they are the LA Dodgers.
In a place like Los Angeles, I'd imagine you're making money just by filling up that ballpark. They already have that great television contract, but now translate that over to college sports. I was about to call it professional college sports. Throw money at the problem. The problem being we don't have a team. I mean, you could say we have a culture. We have a couple of guys left. You have 1 or 2 guys left. You don't have a team, and you don't even really have that much of a culture. I know the coaches sort of instill the culture in the players, but if an appreciable amount of them are still not around, is there really a culture for that program? So, I mean,
and can you have a culture in 6 months? These guys get here and they're gone. It's it's a really individual take on team sports is what it is.
And this hope that the new the NCAA hasn't imposed these new eligibility rules yet. They're studying it. So this is probably something that's a few months off. But that also goes along with the one-time transfer, which I think that's the thing that's going to end up being challenged more than anything else. Maybe a 1 or 2 year transfer. Doesn't it feel like that's the transfer portal? Because I don't really know if you can do much about NIL. If you want to cap NIL earnings, I don't really think you can do that. But you might be able to limit the amount of transfers that student athletes make throughout their career. And that's really where, I mean, if you want to look at the inflation in salaries for NIL value for college basketball players, Matt? What was it, like 75% inflation rate from last year for Power 5 basketball? If you just cut the number of players that are in the transfer portal by half, wouldn't some of that number go down? Because there's less players out there at that point. I mean, I guess there'd be demand too, but I just think that's probably a way where some of the money gets a little bit lower, and you're not throwing so much money at so many players.
Well, I think, yeah, if you were to be able to do 2-year and 3-year contracts, and then I do think if you were only able to jump in the portal one time, I think the numbers, but you're still going to have, you're going to have some exceptions to the rule and everything. You're going to have your unicorns and people that are going to spend a lot of money on certain players. And then if you're the number one player, college player, number one high school basketball player in the country, are you not a $2 million player? Like there's multiple schools. Last year the guy got 4. I don't know what the thing we need is more transparency too. Like we're sitting here talking about stuff and it's not as transparent as it should be.
I also think of, like Santos Cyril, who we talked about a few times earlier in the week and a little yesterday. If he's getting $4 million, what if you've got $11 million, $12 million to put together a college basketball team? And that's a pretty hefty amount that's going to one guy. So, man, it is just kind of crazy when you think about this. But it's just thinking of the idea of throwing money at things, and that's what Live Golf did. And the backers pulled the money away. And I think some people are a little worried that at some point the backers for college sports, being the donors, just may end up running out of all the money in order to fund what's being spent on here.
So you're saying we're in a purple patch right now, and it might not always be like that?
It's a student-athlete purple patch right now.
Yeah.
But how long do purple patches last? You can't ever really, don't anticipate that patch lasting another day, is the way I would think you'd live your life at that point.
That's right.
Yeah. Things can crumble at a moment's notice. All right, there'll be a little bit more on that. We got a lot to get to involving baseball from yesterday and reasons why Arkansas won the game, even though they got out-homered 2-1, and why both teams had 7 hits, but the Hogs still outscored them 6-3. So we'll have a little bit more on that in about 20 minutes or so. Aaron Torres will join halftime after the break. We'll dig a little bit more into this portal. Kentucky finally got a player that they were looking for. We'll see who else Arkansas may be in on. If you got any questions for AT involving any of that, text them in on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, 877-377-6963. Stay with us. Halftime is back after this.
Lewis Automotive, celebrating over 80 years since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
From sauce to dust to nuggets. Diablo dusted crispy chicken nuggets. No, they don't come in mild. That would make like 0 sense with the name. Or the whole explosion thing we just did. New Diablo Dusted Crispy Chicken Nuggets. A brand new classic. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for, only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with the free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Once in my life, I have someone who needs me, someone I needed so long. For once unafraid, I can go where life leads me. Somehow I know I'll be strong. For once I can touch what my heart used to dream of long before I do. Oh, someone warm like you would make me true, yeah.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Aaron Torres joining us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline for a Friday morning chat. AT, of course, the man on Aaron Torres Media, Aaron Torres Sports Podcast, Fox Sports Radio, and Halftime on Friday mornings. What's up, AT? How are you?
Oh, I'm well, fellas. Busy time of year. I enjoy all of it, and I don't know if the coaches that are just getting worked by 22-year-old agents, with no law credentials are enjoying it very much. But I enjoy it. It's a crazy time. And lastly, I'll say this. I think, Bill, you and I have been doing this for a long time, and I think Malik Thomas would fall in this category. The number of high-level players who, are at least considering returning to college basketball if they don't think their draft stock, I think that's been a huge net positive of the NIL era. And so it just adds another twist of not only are you worrying about transfers and high school stuff, but now you're thinking about real high-level players that could be back in college basketball next season if they don't like where they're going to be drafted.
That's exactly where I was going to start, AT. I'd heard Dan Hurley talk about it's a great time to be a college athlete, and if you're not a top 15
Matt Jones.
Pick, if you're not a top – go ahead.
Imagine Matt Jones, the double athlete at the negotiating table at 19 years old. How would you have handled yourself in this situation, Matt Jones?
Whatever my parents said. That would have been whatever mom and dad said. It would have been a real simple deal for me. But Malik Thomas is perfect. He's some. I love his game, Aaron. I don't know how much scouting you've done of him, but I know you've seen him play. Like his skill set is just he's got 5-star skill set. He's just a 2-star athlete. Like he's got to work on some of that explosiveness and some of that bounce, and maybe he's never going to be an above the rim player, but his actual ball handling and being able to be a walking bucket. I don't know how that translates to the NBA. I would tell, and this is what Dan Hurley had said was, hey, it's a great time to be a college. If you're not a top 15 pick, you come back and you play against kids for another year, make $2.5 million, and then go try to achieve your dream, because it's not about being first. It's about the timing has to be right. What are your thoughts on Malik Thomas?
Yeah, this was an old Jim Calhounism, when I was growing up with UConn, is the first NBA contract isn't the one that changes your life forever. It's the second NBA contract. And, he had a pretty good track record of guys staying that extra year and then really obviously having great NBA careers. I mean, Rip Hamilton, Ray Allen, Kemba Walker, on and on. And so I think that is a really cool part of this process. With Malik specifically, I think what you said, Matt, is right on, is that, we kind of know what he is right now. And I think another part of it too, Matt, is that I would add is that if you go into the draft too early, you can get pigeonholed as a certain type of player, right? So like Malik, if he stays in the draft this year, he might get pigeonholed as, oh, he's just a shooter, he's just a this, he's just a that, where you come back next year, you round out your game a little bit, you be a top 10 pick, and you go into the league at a more advantageous spot. So, with him specifically, I don't know what his end game is. We all know that this is a better draft than normal. And I think the thing that I would add, too, is that I think there's this notion that there's all these behind-the-scenes, deals made of, we'll promise you to pick you here. And that really doesn't happen as much as you would think, because obviously a lot of you just have to protect yourself in case somebody unexpected falls. And so I just bring it up because, Malik's going to go through that draft process. He's going to have an idea of where he's going to get drafted. But I don't think there's going to be anybody that says, if you fall to the 9th pick or you fall to the 7th, 19th pick or whatever, we wouldn't pass on you because there's just so much talent. So, again, I don't know what that magic number is that he has to hear, but I don't think he's going to get it, and it's not a good player. It's just because there are so many other good players in this draft that I think it'll be interesting to see what kind of feedback he actually gets.
Who has the power here? Is it the athlete? Is it the agent? And I guess some of that has to do with what agent are you talking about. So I really think, and I talk more about this with baseball coaches, but they're dealing with agents too. Not the dollar figures that the college basketball coaches are, but they've got to deal with these guys all year long, not just during portal season, but also during the season too. And it just feels like, for a guy like Malik, you're doing the right thing going into the draft and going through all the process, but then, you hope you're getting the right kind of advice. And it's advice that somebody's looking out for you, not just looking out for themselves.
Well, and what Matt just said, I still think is at the core of it. He said, I would have listened to whatever my mom and dad said. And I still think it's about having the right people around you. And again, to your point, Bill, the people around you that have your best interests at heart. I can't speak to Malik as much. I don't know his background, but, the name that Matt kind of alluded to with the Dan Hurley comments, Braylon Mullins, I had a chance to meet that family at the Final Four, and they are all about doing what is best for their son, their grandson. And if that means another year of college, if that means 2 more years of college, if that means going to the NBA right now, everyone is in the same, they're rowing in the same direction to make sure that, whatever Braylon's future is, that, he's best set up to succeed. And, you just hope that that's the case for a lot of these kids. But I will say one of the cool things is, even when there's bad actors, now a lot of times the bad actors are telling these kids to come back to college, which I think is still a net positive for development and social development, not just development on the court as well. Then you got to make sure they're pushing you in the right direction as far as what school, what team, are you going in the portal, are you not going in the portal? But yeah, no, I think, Phil, to the point we brought up is it still comes down to, at the end of the day, having the right people in your corner, and we know that a lot of these kids do. Unfortunately, we know that some of them don't as well.
We know where Carter Knox is going. How do you see his game translating? Is it really just the matter if Carter's healthy or not, or if his attitude's right, mentally? Because we all know the talent's there. How do you see, is Louisville a good fit for him?
Yeah, they play pretty well. They shoot a lot of threes. There's plenty of talent around him. I mean, they landed Badunga, the big man from Kansas. So, yeah, I mean, the thing is, too, is they're a team that basically lost virtually everybody either through graduation or players leaving in the portal as well. Now, as we know, players leaving doesn't necessarily – sometimes the school pushes them out. But I think Carter's going to have a defined role. And I think if he's good enough, that's going to be a system where he can thrive, and so it's on him. So, yeah, it's always interesting whenever it doesn't work out, especially somebody like Carter, who's so good the back half of 2 seasons ago, the 24-25 season. When he ends up in the portal because it doesn't work out, you just hope he ends up in the right spot. And I think that's going to be a good spot for him, where if he's as good as I think he is certainly going to have the opportunity to show it.
So 2 commits for Cal at Arkansas.
Yeah.
One of them actually played for Cal, Ifornia, and now he's going to play for John Calipari. That's Wilkinson.
That was good.
And then there's Cooper Bowser, the forward that's coming in from Furman. Cal's kind of operating in shadows, man, and that wasn't that wasn't the case under Muss. Because you were in on everybody is what it felt like, or at least that's what it said on social media. Chuck Martin not part of the staff anymore. There have been some people that sort of pointed the finger that he was a mole. That it would you don't hear anything about where Cal is and what they're looking at now that Martin's not in the staff. Is it a coincidence?
I thought Cal pretty much operated in the shadows always. You go back to trying to remember who you guys recruited in the portal. Maybe last year was a bad example because it felt like they locked in on the 2 big guys early and never really locked off of them. But no, I think this is how Cal operates. And I think this is what a good recruiter does. I think also, too, guys, in defense of Muss, not that Muss needs defending in, 2026, but like the portal used to operate a lot different. I think now there's so much money involved that it almost feels more like NBA free agency. Like it used to be back in the day. It was still kind of a semi. You go in the portal, you get your list of 10, you take your 2 or 3 visits. Now it's just, like I said, it's almost like NBA free agency. Is the money right? Is the role right? Boom, I'll visit campus later. And I had somebody reference me to that last year. I said, do you think it'll go back to the old days? Because it feels like a lot of schools are taking a lot of risks on guys they don't know. He said, and this guy had played in the NBA. He said, no. He said, when you're a free agent, you don't go to Portland to see the facilities. It's like, oh, the Trailblazers offer this much money. This is my role. I sign up today. And so I think that's really how this era of the portal is moving. I don't think we're going back. And I do think that's why we'll see a lot of, quick commitment. I'll tell a quick story, and if I'm going long, guys, cut me off. But so, like, last weekend, the guard Isaiah Johnson committed to Texas. And I think I know Arkansas at least sniffed around on him. But I bring it up because I was talking to somebody close to him. They're like, well, I can't tell you where he is, but if it goes well, you'll know by midday Saturday. And sure enough, he committed to Texas midday Saturday. So that's just how quickly some of these things go now. And I think, I think Cal is just playing the same game everybody else is as far as that.
Hey, Aaron, is there a can't-miss prospect? And I don't know. It could be the kid from BYU. It can be the kid from Kansas, Kentucky. It can be Acuff. Is there a can't-miss we talk about how good this NBA draft coming up is. Who's the guy that you're like, he's a bona fide superstar at the next level?
Well, listen, I think A.J. Devonta ended up the 2nd or 3rd leading scorer. What I was so impressed by with A.J., and I'll probably go a little bit long here, so cut me off if I go too long. But, with A.J., there was so much discourse about Darren Peterson and all that stuff. And AJ, late in the year, they were so injury ravaged that it would have been easy for him to say, guys, my ankle's feeling a little bit better today. I don't think I'll be playing. And instead, he was playing 40 minutes a night every single night. So I give him so much credit for that. He is going to go number one. The guy that I just think because he got hurt, not enough people know about is Caleb Wilson. I mean, Caleb Wilson, statistically, now you can't say it was the best freshman season in North Carolina history because he got hurt. Michael Jordan won a championship as a freshman, but statistically, Caleb Wilson was the best freshman in the history of North Carolina basketball, which is saying something. And, if he doesn't get hurt, Hubert Davis is still the head coach of that team. And so I actually think my prediction is he ends up going number 2 on draft night. Everybody's so fired up about Peterson and Boozer. I think Caleb Wilson is the guy people aren't talking about enough, but I do think AJ will be going number 1 when it's all said and done.
Aaron, we'll leave it there. Appreciate your time. Thanks so much. Next week, as long as you got the time, okay?
As long as I got the time. Where else would I be?
I don't know. I just said that. Just something to say.
Okay. For me, I mean, who knows what the portal will be like by next Friday. So as long as you guys have the time for me.
It's a good point. Just don't go in the portal yourself. It's Aaron Torres from the Aaron Torres Sports Podcast and Aaron Torres Media. Did that go over the air, Unit? Did his little funny joke go over the air?
I heard it.
I heard it. Go ahead and say it. Where did it sound like Aaron was today?
The Strait of Hormuz.
Halftime, we'll be back right after this.
0-1 the count on Ruiz. Now the pitch is lined into left field. They had Allen into the gap, and that's one hop to the fence. 2-0 Arkansas.
This is halftime.
Superstars Joe Klein and Pat Bradley for Arkansas's #1 sports app, Bet Saracen.
Joe, you know the main difference between Bet Saracen and those other guys?
Definitely. Easier to navigate. Always good parlays. Plus lots of fun choices. Like ping pong. Right there on the app.
But the real difference are those special promos.
Get $250 on us with your first $25 wager.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
Evan Cohen here. You know the feeling when a candidate just stands out. Not just a resume, but their energy. They're eager, engaged, and you know they want the role. That makes a difference. If you're hiring, you want a candidate who's passionate, but you can't get that insight from a resume unless you post your job on ZipRecruiter. Their matching technology finds qualified candidates fast, and ZipRecruiter has a new feature that shows you the most interested qualified candidates first. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or take 5.9% financing for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2026 GMC Canyon for as low as $399 a month with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
From sauce, dust, to nuggets. It's Taco Bell's new Diablo Dusted Crispy Chicken Nuggets. Are they mild? If they were mild, we'd have to change the name to Little Rascal Nuggets or Minor Nuisance Nuggets. Definitely Diablo. New Diablo Dusted Crispy Chicken Nuggets. A brand new classic. Only at Taco Bell.
At
Participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time and while supplies last.
Let's tee up for a great cause. Join us for Mercy's Golf Classic on Monday, May 11th at Hardscrabble Country Club. Enjoy a day of golf while supporting the expansion of our Mercy Cancer Center. Morning and afternoon tee times are still available. Register your team or become a sponsor by calling 479-314-1133 or visiting mercyhealthfoundation.net/FTSM Golf.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Keep on moving. Keep on
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Few people on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline wanted a Breaking Bart update, +2 through 3 right now. That update came 20 minutes ago on their socials. That's where you're going to get your updates if you want them, from the Chuck and Bo Twitter account, social medias. Anyway, if you want to talk about the baseball game from yesterday, what's coming up tonight or tomorrow, 877-377-6963. Also, you get the big softball series with Arkansas number 6 battling number 1 Oklahoma in Norman tonight. I think they had to change, I forget if it was today or tomorrow, but they had to change the game time for one of them because of weather. Oklahoma is undefeated at their home ballpark, 18-0, 40-4 overall. So even though the Hogs have been playing really well on the road, 18-0 at home, I don't know. I just saw a team that won 18 straight home games lose 3 in a row to the Razorbacks last week in Tuscaloosa. So this can happen. Let's see here. 6-3 yesterday. Did you know that yesterday, I'll get into that in a little bit. It was the 33rd different lineup that Dave has put out in 38 games. Isn't that crazy?
We were talking about that a little bit yesterday, yeah.
I've got a couple of minutes of me and Dave in the pregame just talking about it that I'll play in a little bit here. But yesterday, the way you win yesterday's game is not how you win today's game. Volchko, the pitcher they had yesterday, Matt, Joey Volchko, you can see this guy is a power arm, but one thing Bubba had said in the pregame was that if you let him walk you, he will. And that's exactly what happened to start the game yesterday. He came out just wild. In fact, there wasn't a single swing until I think it was 12 pitches. Carter Rittenbar walks, Ryder Helfrich walks. Helfrich, in fact, was squaring around a bunt. They were looking to get in Volchko's head, and they did. It really was amazing to see Ryder Helfrich, who leads the team in home runs with 12, square around in the first inning and look like he's going to bunt Rittenbar from first to second base. That's like old school stuff from the 50s and the 60s. Heck, I still remember when the Pirates in the 90s had Jay Bell batting second in the batting order, and every time the leadoff batter would reach base, and it would be either Gary Reedus or Wally Backman, in the first inning, he bunted him up. Nobody does that anymore, and that's not what Helfrich was going to do. He was just trying to get in Volchko's head, and he did, and they did. Two wild pitches in the first inning. One scores a run, a passed ball, which helped a run score. There was those sort of things. It was base running. It was getting into the pitcher's head yesterday that had nothing to do with how you hit the ball. Is why they won the game, taking an extra base, a double steal in the fourth inning in a situation where maybe you might bunt, but they got into their mind. And,
why is that?
It was just impressive.
Why is that an antiquated way of thinking? Why did baseball 30 years ago that was popular, and now, I mean, you see teams do it, but it's like almost like, oh, that's just kind of like the classic style. But teams don't want to give up that out for 90 feet. What has made that a thing?
It is.
Yeah.
The thinking now is that the out is more valuable than the base, and that you should. It used to be 30 years ago you'd have a different kind of a hitter than Helfrich batting second. It would be a contact guy. It would be a guy you hit and run with, a guy that bunts, specifically a guy who's good at moving a fast runner up. But if you have a fast runner, does he really need help to move up sometimes? But that was the thing, is like you never see Helfrich square around to bunt, but he can bunt. But all it is putting a bat in front of the strike zone of a pitcher that can be really wild in bunches. And that gets in his head, It's something just very simple. Instead of the bat held back, you hold it over the plate in front of the strike zone. And it almost looks like it's like it's a shield to, bat the ball down, even though it would be a strike if it's right there. And he just couldn't throw a strike. At that point, a pitcher's taught, the batter's putting it over the plate, just throw it there. Let him bunt it. He's giving you an out. And he couldn't even put it there. So that was one aspect. Arkansas made 3 great plays in the field in a succession of innings, 5th inning, 6th inning, 7th inning. The play that Pompey made in the 6th inning, this incredible backhanded play and a hard chopper down the third base line. There's a man on base at that point. You're up by 3 runs. So if that ball gets past Pompey down the line, you probably have a run score, and then the tying run bats, and who knows what's happening. That's kind of a game-saving play. So Georgia made no plays like that. That was the difference in the game. A couple of walks, some wild pitches, 5 stolen bases, and a passed ball, and good plays in the field. It wasn't home runs. It wasn't even clutch hitting. It was just it was just the value of one base was the difference in yesterday's ball game. Today's different because the guy who's throwing today, Vigu, isn't a wild pitcher, and you can't steal on him. Like Volchko has this big leg kick, and it takes him a moment to get the ball to the plate. Vigu's different, so he'll have to win the game in a much different manner. And you'll probably need a really strong performance from Cole Gibler. I think you got a nice game from Dietz yesterday. He was really good. But I think you need 5 innings from Gibler, and then see what the bullpen can do after that. This Georgia team can really hit, man. You can tell by the way there were some loud outs yesterday. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hard hit balls that were either caught on the warning track or were line drives, or a defender made a great play in the field. That's like. If any of those, if those all get through, they had 16 hits instead of 7. That's the difference in the game. They really can hit. And Arkansas didn't have necessarily the same amount of loud outs. But I do think Arkansas is a better team in the field, and I think that showed out. The team looks like it's getting better in terms of fielding. And one guy that stands out is Rutenbar in right field. Right field has been a little bit of a black hole defensively for the Hogs this year. You had Kuhio out there to start the season, and he's been DHing for a long time now for a reason. Zach Stewart has gotten a chance in right field, and I think if he was hitting a ton, then he would be out there more. But he also is a little bit iffy in what he can get to, and when he gets there, it's a little bit of like a leap to catch the ball, and I think he might have dropped 1 or 2 because of that. Rutenbar has not looked like a real corner outfielder until yesterday. Like there were some hits, there were some balls that he handled last night where it looked like he's starting to pick up the instincts of playing right field, where he took his first step. How much more comfortable he looked going back on the ball. He didn't shift over both shoulders. He kind of started backpedaling instead of getting his body all twisted up. It's only been, he's only been playing the outfield for I think 3 weeks. He's played a little bit in the fall just because I think they, we want to move guys around and see what they can do. But I'm not telling you he's going to be a Gold Glover. But if you're a serviceable outfielder, if you catch what you get to and you start to get to a few more things, he looks like a guy who can play right field. And I love the story of what he's doing here, Matt. Like Carter Rutenbar right now leads the team in batting average. He's hitting at the top of the batting order of a team that's always expected to go to Omaha. And nobody talked about him coming into the season as, wow, look at what you got with this freshman. It was all about Carson Brumbaugh. And I think Brumbaugh at some point will get a chance to show what he can do. But Rutenbar is just like this nose to the grindstone kind of a hitter. That's the way he hits, and it's the way he's putting his work in the field. So how often is it like, it's not like he has saved the season, but he's a reason why they've turned things around. How often is a little spoken about freshman one of the reasons why, any team starts to turn things around? Rutenbar is a major reason why.
Yeah, and hopefully just keep that level head. Don't change. Keep working. Your teammates notice that. Whenever you have success and you're doing right, man, everybody knows that, and you kind of gravitate towards that to what he's doing, to his routine. And I always go back to the Olympic teams with Kobe. When they said they got there, everybody went out partying, everybody went out hanging out because it's like, we're America, we're going to win. And they're coming back from the club at 4 o'clock in the morning, and Kobe's going to get a workout in. And within the first week, everybody was doing that. They were waking up at 4 a.m. to go get workouts in, and that's awesome. Just keep doing your thing, and he'll be a guy that you don't want jumping into the portal next year, huh? He'll be a guy that you hope to see in a Razorback uniform for the next couple of years.
I hope so, and I'd like to think from Carter, because he seems like he's quiet. He doesn't really talk very much. He, to me, looks like a leadership by example kind of a guy. And I would hope he'd stick here, but I can't get into somebody else's mind about it. You just don't see Arkansas players that have been starters leave very often. It's a guy like a Gabe Frazier, who filled in for Souza after the injury last year and then got hurt and was sitting for a while, and he might not have had a position here this season.
Where is he? Is he doing good?
Florida State.
Is Frazier doing good though? Yeah.
I checked his numbers in a bit. I think he had a good start though. I was impressed by his talent.
Would he be playing on this Arkansas team in this year if he would have stayed?
He would have had a chance. Yeah. I think so. But I think there might have been some other things involved in it. Sometimes there's other. I forget the name of the outfielder. Was it Mason? Was his first name? And couldn't break through the starting lineup here, and then he goes to Oregon, and he had an All-American season 2 years ago. So, but he didn't. It's not. You don't usually lose the starters at Arkansas. You'll lose guys that have trouble breaking through, and then they might blossom somewhere else. Rutenbar looks like he's blossoming here, so hopefully that means he stays here. 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Let's get a look at some of the texts here. Ryan wonders how West didn't get run yesterday. Yeah, he was pretty upset about, what was that, an eighth-inning pitch to, was it O'Shaughnessy, I think? And he was pretty upset about it. He comes out of the dugout shouting, screaming demonstratively on his way to the pitcher's mound to go talk with one of his pitchers. And, man, it was almost like he went to make the visit just so that he could shout to plate umpire Jeff Head, but then it just went away, and there wasn't anything else after that. I was surprised he didn't get run, too. Thank you, Gunner. It was Mason Neville. That's right. I remember Mason, left-handed hitter with really quick bat. Guy from Harrison, the Georgia starting pitcher, had a bad first inning. But the guy was great after he really was wild in the first inning, and then a little issue for him in the fourth, and he struck out 7 of 8 batters at one point. His stuff is legit. He just doesn't have an off-speed pitch, so he's going to need some kind of a changeup. I think if he's going to continue as a starting pitcher moving forward. Sean remembers seeing a guy throw 4 balls to the backstop and then stay in the game and close it out. Yep, Ethan McIlvain did it. And Ethan maybe he's a bit of an adventure kind of a closer, like Pitfall, jumping over the crocodile-infested ponds with the vine that's hanging for you. Remember playing that game on Activision? Ethan McIlvain has a little bit of Pitfall in him, but I think he's got more lives than we think. 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Joe's Grill and Cantina has the best Tex-Mex and even better service. Also, every single day, Joe's Grill makes from scratch salsa, queso dip, guacamole with crispy warm chips to start your meal, plus fajitas, enchiladas, tacos, burritos, and much more. It's always an experience you're going to enjoy. Great Tex-Mex, even better service at Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith, 3400 South 74th across from Harps. Give them a look or an order online, joesfortsmith.com. We'll wrap up hour number 1 of halftime after this break.
Pitch. He struck him out swinging. Got him to go after a curveball low. Hunter Dietz finishes his 5th inning with his 5th strikeout.
This is halftime.
Spring is in the air, and the fish are biting, the gobblers are strutting, and the trees are blooming. Jelco Outdoors, your locally owned one-stop shop, is ready to help you get outside and enjoy the great outdoors. Stop by and let our friendly staff help you get the gear you need. Jelco Outdoors, your store for hunt, fish, and work. That's what we do. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors. Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Enclaves at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off and 4.9% financing for up to 84 months on this luxurious third-row SUV. Or drive the brand-new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited-time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Since 1974, the folks in the River Valley have trusted Westark Yamaha in Fort Smith for quality and service you just can't find at those big box stores. Now expanding into zero-turn mowers, Westark Yamaha carries Bobcat, a high-quality commercial mower built to perform, and World Lawn, the best value in zero-turn mowers. Plus, they stock Husqvarna chainsaws and Red Max blowers and trimmers. Westark Yamaha services what they sell. Right now, get 0% financing on all mowers. Westark Yamaha, serving Fort Smith since 1974.
Save some green this spring at Rath Auto Resources. We've been hard at work getting ready for warmer weather, and we put our best roster of road-ready certified pre-owned cars on the ground, priced to move and backed by a comprehensive warranty. With our non-commissioned sales team, painless pricing playbook, and the nation's best lenders, Rath's got the River Valley's deepest bench ready to take all the hassle out of getting your next ride. Don't settle for just any used car. Make the switch to road-ready certified and save some green this spring at Rath Auto Resources. Voted best pre-owned cars in the River Valley. 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. RathAutoFortSmith.com.
Let's see. Leaky faucet Tuesday. Water flooding the yard. Better put that down for the middle of the month when the bills aren't due.
Honey, what are you doing?
Planning our plumbing problems, of course.
You can't plan our plumbing problems, but you should plan our plumber.
What do you mean?
Like all important contacts, I keep Westark Plumbing in my phone. They're always there when we need them, and they don't overcharge since they know we don't plan our plumbing problems. Here, honey, here's their number.
646-5151. Thanks, babe.
Westark Plumbing. We keep you flowing.
When a business has been around more than 65 years, you know they're doing something right. Hey, Ty Richardson for Johnny's Transmission. They've been trusted in Fort Smith and the River Valley since 1959. Located at 1212 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith, they strive to make every customer's experience outstanding and want your vehicle to be in the best condition for the road ahead. Check out their website, johnnystransmissionfs.com, and find them on Facebook. Johnny's Transmission, family owned and operated since 1959.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Lewis Automotive, celebrating over 80 years since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you events only at Lewis Automotive.
I went and stayed too long. I'm wondering if your love's still strong. Baby, yeah, I had signs to deliver the time I went and said good.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Melvin is on our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Good morning, Melvin. How are you?
I'm hanging in there, Phil. I was wanting to wreck your brain a minute. Maybe I had a guy ask me, and I hadn't heard about him in a long time. A former infielder from Lone Oak. I think his last name was Martin. Is he
Casey
doing
Martin.
any good in the minors or anything?
Casey Martin is who you're talking about there, Melvin. One of my favorite Razorbacks,
Okay.
2018,
Mine
2019. Yeah, from Lone Oak, the Jackrabbit. Was a Phillies draftee.
Yes, sir. Is he still in
Casey,
the minor league?
I don't think he's playing any longer. His last season, if I look up his entry in Baseball Reference, was 2024. Never got to AAA. Had a career average of 192 in the minor league. So he had issues. He had issues with swinging and missing at breaking pitches, off-speed pitches. He could catch up with any fastball, but just never seemed to really be able to figure it out in the minor leagues in terms of closing the hole in his swing.
How is Erstad doing with the Orioles? Is that a done deal, or does he get to play, or what?
Kerstad started the season on the injured list, and that's another guy that's just had some trouble sticking up there for the season. He doesn't have any major league at bats yet this season. It's been one thing after another for Heston. Remember, I mean, he started. He had there was a heart ailment, I think, that in 2020 that might have been related to the vaccine. I think that might have been what it was. And then after recovering, he had a major hamstring injury that cost him almost a full season. There were some nicks and knacks last year too. It's just he's been snake bitten. Kerstad's been snake bitten. It's a number 2 overall pick that hasn't stuck in the big leagues.
Well, that's my kind of one of my favorite lately teams, if you know what I mean. That I think they got robbed with COVID of being a real contender for the national championship, I think.
Well, in 2020, potentially. We don't, there were some shaky moments for that 2020 team, I remember. And one of them was Casey just didn't look comfortable at shortstop. Yeah, and I don't think he played much shortstop in the minor leagues. But both Casey Martin and Heston Kerstad were in the early years of the surge that Arkansas baseball experienced, really starting in 2017, and that was their last year in high school. But 2018, talking about freshmen, talking about freshmen like Carter Rutenbar that, stepped into the starting lineup here, and there's a reason for the turnaround. Those guys were in the lineup every single day. They batted in the middle of the order, and they were two of the main reasons that the Hogs were a strike away from winning a national title as freshmen. And that tells you how difficult it is to make a career out of professional baseball as well. We go into hour number 2 of halftime. 877-377-6963, our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. James Teague in about 20 minutes, and we are right back.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Enclaves at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off and 4.9% financing for up to 84 months on this luxurious third-row SUV. Or drive the brand-new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited-time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Lindbergh and the Lindbergh Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours. Or you can use Terra's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust a team that delivers results. Go to LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
We all plan to be on time, but fender benders, damaged windshield, and slick road quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Brad Howe in Van Buren or call Ryan Hughes in Fort Smith.
When it's time to stock the bar, fill the cooler, or grab the perfect bottle, stop by River Point Wine and Spirits. You'll love our clean, organized store, full of all the best liquor, wine, and beer at the right price. At River Point, we're a family-owned business where customer service is always our priority. So come stock up for game night, date night, or the weekend ahead. Your journey, our spirit. River Point Wine and Spirits, Grand Avenue and I-540.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Mostly sunny sky today. We may see an isolated shower or rumble of thunder across the north. High temperatures into the middle 80s. Chance of seeing showers and a few thunderstorms tonight. An overnight low will drop down close to the upper 50s. South, right around the 50-degree mark. North, another round of showers and storms cooler on Saturday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for wine, specialty beers, and liquor. Located at 12100 Highway 71 South in Fort Smith. KERX Paris, Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Even one Razorback. Is vintage Matt Jones. The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
12:01 Friday afternoon now, and welcome back into Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. I'm Phil Elson. I'm in the Baum-Walker Stadium home booth. The field is being dragged right now. We're about 6 hours away from baseball. Major League Baseball is also here at Baum-Walker Stadium. Not Rob Manfred, but people with Major League Baseball here. And looks like they might be filming some stuff here at Baum-Walker. So you don't have too many times where there's Major League Baseball around college ball, but you feel a little bit of a coming together sometimes. There is a new Arkansas women's basketball transfer here, Matt Jones. The fourth transfer announcement for Kelsey Music's team, Deasia Thomas-Harris, coming over from Georgia Tech, 6'2", from Katy, Texas, 5 points, a little under 4 rebounds a game, average 14 minutes. So that's pretty decent for averaging 14 minutes. 12 points, 10 rebounds against A&M. So that's the fourth commit. She's the lone. Well, they list her as a guard / forward. So the other three are guards, but 6'2". That's the kind of player you haven't had too often, at least of late. So. Kelsey's starting to pile on the commits this week. This is, I think, the third this week, and it's the fourth overall. No updates on the men's team just yet. Let's see. What else to get to here starting hour number 2 on Halftime? Oh, we've got a phone call from our man, the Tuna. We're going to talk baseball with James Teague, former Arkansas pitcher, Teague Law Firm, in the next segment. So let's see what Charlie's got here. Charlie? You're on the air. How you doing?
What's up, guys? Phil, I can talk a little baseball. I mean,
I know
listen,
you can.
I
You
am-
always do this time of the year. You're a utility caller.
Yeah, I am. I'm that guy. I'm the cleanup guy. Huh? No, yeah, man. Look, I was thinking, Phil, you have been talking about like the batters feeling since the starting pitching has been better as of late, that they're feeling less pressure. I remember, I think one of the games it might have been the first one. I believe Bama had put up like I don't remember how many runs they scored, but there was an inning, and then we came out the next inning and responded. So my point to that is, what if, because I think the shoes can be reversed on this too, if you get what I'm saying. Like, does it not help a pitcher when, even though maybe you give up a couple runs in an inning, when your team comes out and then they also respond and give you, I don't know, yeah, because if that doesn't happen, maybe what's his name, the starting pitcher comes out. I don't know. I just wonder what you thought about that, because I always think, I mean, this isn't a team that's gonna hit a bunch of home runs. I think everybody already knows that by now. That's not their game. I really liked yesterday in that first inning. It reminds me, who was the team that we played that gave us trouble with all the base running? Was it Kansas State? Was it 20? They could run. Who was that?
Yeah, I
Phil?
remember Kansas State ran all over the place. That's right.
So that's something that I think with this team, I mean, it seems like Dave is starting to lean on a bit more. Whether it be, bunting, fake bunting, doesn't matter who's up to the plate.
That's all dependent, Charlie, on and usually that's going to be dependent upon the pitcher. And the reason they were stealing all these bases yesterday is because Volchko doesn't control the running game well. They're going to have to win a different way today. Vigu doesn't have the big kick. He's quicker to the plate, and so he also doesn't seem to have issues with walks that I think Volchko has had. So what you saw yesterday, it'd be a huge surprise. First of all, if you saw a pitcher that just has a meltdown to start the game, and then if they're faking bunting and running all over the place, they're going to have to out-hit Georgia today.
Yeah, I'm with you. And as far as you get in the series, I think you do have to get to where you have to think outscore, out-hit, and outplay teams. But I tell you, Kozel got a hold of one. I thought it was gone. What was it, 103 off the bat? And he was just a little bit under it there in that first inning. I mean, probably a normal day, that's gone. Even though with the home runs that the starter gave up, I think, and I know his name. I'm just not coming to my head right now. I got a lot of things
starter
on
or
my
their starter?
Yeah, Arkansas starter
Pete's.
yesterday, the pitcher. Yes, God, I knew that. I don't know where my head's at today, Phil. But
That's all right. Your head's where it always is, Charlie. But I think right now what you're seeing is that a team that trusts their teammates more. I really do.
Yeah, and they're confident. They're more confident than they were a few weeks back, and Matt always talks about it. It takes just a few, and then you can flip it. And I think every team has deficiencies. You always talk about that, Phil. I haven't watched enough of the other teams to know who's the most closest to perfect. Matt, before I go, I was going to ask you, Clay has said on Wednesday that he feels like, KJ Jackson is the starter. But if I am that backup quarterback, which would be, I guess, AJ, what are some things, if you're AJ and you might possibly be the backup, what are some things, if you're him, you go into this offseason, maybe I can figure out a way to challenge KJ in the fall? Because I don't know how it was for you. Obviously, you probably took time off when you went into the offseason. You knew you were the guy and your shoulder was bothering you, but I just think competition is good for everyone. So I just wonder what you thought about that. Y'all have a go.
Thanks, Charlie.
Man, I went to the basketball court. That's right, during the off season. The thing is, you kind of know who starters are. You kind of know what your role is. When you're not the starter, and we kind of talked a little bit about this with Taylor Green and where he ends up, but when you're not the starter, you get first team scout team reps. You're running the second team against the first team defense, and you're trying to give them a good look. So that's your role right there. And then you're watching film, you're doing individual works, but you don't get a lot of first-team reps if you're not the starter. I mean, that's just how that's at any position. But you have to be ready.
They're doing the first-team reps now in spring because they kind of – I don't know if splitting is the right idea, but he's getting some of them. It does feel like there's a competition right now, but don't you expect you're going to announce a starting quarterback at the end of spring or at least sometime after spring?
I don't know how coach is going to do it. Is there another portal window? I don't know how you get into all that, but most of the time, Phil, 95% of the starters they're at spring ball. That's you kind of know when you enter fall camp, and I know you don't like to call it fall camp, but when you enter fall camp, you know who the starters are. There might be 2 or 3 jobs that are open for discussion, but for the most part, you kind of have an idea of kind of the cornerstone of what your team's going to be.
What did you make? Remember Bill King was on with us a couple of days ago, and he said that he thinks that college football is going to move to OTAs in the spring, which, man, I was like, I don't understand the structure of OTAs compared to what spring football is, but how would that change what the off season is like for college football players?
Man, that's interesting. So I know what my schedule was. I only played for Jacksonville. Cincinnati's did some OTAs, and it's pretty similar. You're a full-time employee is the thing. You get to Monday through Friday. You show up to the training facility, 7:00 in the morning, and then you're done about 1. And that's in the off season, and you got to go 4 out of the 5 days a week, and 2 of those days, let's say it's Tuesday and Thursday, you're going to go on the field and do 7-on-7, or if you're a lineman, you're going to work on certain things, whatever position specific drills you're going to use. Then Monday and Friday, you're going to run, you're going to do conditioning stuff, and then 3 of those days you're going to lift before you do that, and then 2 of those other days, every day you're going to watch film, there's going to be a student aspect of it. It's a totally different setup than what spring ball. Spring ball, you go to a meeting, then you go out to practice.
Is it competition based? Like spring ball feels like you're competing for positions. Is that different from?
There's even less positions open on an NFL team than there is on a college. Like that's when my 4 years in Jacksonville, the turnover is about 6 to 7 guys a year. 48 of the guys of the 53 are going to stay, and maybe 45. But there's not as many jobs open as you think. And if you're a first round, second round, third round pick, 99% of the time you're making the team, and you're going to be playing somewhere. So those are kind of the positions they go get. So anytime, that's why you see some of these quarterbacks get a little upset when you're at, you think you got 4 or 5 years left in your career, and then you go take a quarterback, because whenever they draft a quarterback in the first, they're pressure instantly on getting that guy on the field.
877-377-6963 to touch on any of that for our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Want to remind you about Roback, RHOBACK.com. I brought my Baum Walker shirt here to Baum Walker today, so it's like a mirror looking into a mirror. You'll find it at the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection at Roback, along with all brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos and Q-zips that continue to sell fast. Roback.com to check out all this new apparel, and use the code RUSH26 at checkout for 20% off your first order. That's Roback, where action meets comfort. Former Arkansas pitcher James Teague from the Teague Law Firm joining halftime right after this.
Lewis Automotive, celebrating over 80 years, since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
From sauce to dust to nuggets. Diablo dusted crispy chicken nuggets. No, they don't come in mild. That would make like 0 sense with the name. Or the whole explosion thing we just did. New Diablo dusted crispy chicken nuggets. A brand new classic. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and it's just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E. from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with the free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Try to think about tomorrow. Let's think about the past. About the things that didn't last. Beginning. Be on another way.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust. Enjoy the music you hear on Halftime. Of course you do. Our halftime playlist is brought to you by Bath Makeover of Arkansas. Right now, Bath Makeover of Arkansas is looking for 50 lucky homeowners who will get 50% off installation of a brand new bathtub or shower. Call 1-800-NEW-BATH, 1-800-NEWBATH, or go to bathmakeoverar.com. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, having a little issue getting a hold of James Teague, but you know what? That can happen sometimes when you are an actual professional working lawyer and a partner in a law firm on a Friday, and there are no days off. So, hey, you know, that happens sometimes when you actually, he's not just here to talk baseball with us, and it's not like he's just a spokesperson for the Teague Law Firm. He's an actual lawyer. So I think he had some lawyering things to do, but we'll get with James when we get the opportunity. You can call, you can text 877-377-6963 to get with us today. So I was going to bring up, I might as well bring it up now, about 33 different lineups. 30. Yesterday was the 33rd unique lineup in 38 games for Arkansas. Just wrap your mind around that for a moment. That's just about a different lineup for every single game. For a team that's now 9-7 in the SEC and has twice as many wins as losses, 26 wins, 13 losses. I've been around baseball a long time, Matt. I can't remember.
Was there
a
seven
different lineup every game?
Was there 7 different lineups last year? That's kind of what I wonder then. So at this point last year, did they change the lineup? And really, sometimes you might have to change it one person. I guess that's a change of a lineup. But you were going over some of the numbers saying there's been 7 different 8-hole hitters and 5 different 6-hole hitters, and that it's been kind of I don't know if the most consistent thing about it is just the inconsistency.
My favorite part of the piece of paper that shows you the number of times everybody's batted at what spot of the batting order is that you can't even get more than one player on the 9-hole because there's too many batters that have hit 1 through 8. You can't even fit it on a piece of paper. 33 different lineups. I talked with Dave Van Horn about it during the pregame show, and I just wanted to play this for you because this, to me, look, I'm impressed when you have the kind of season you have last year. Because that obviously means you scouted your players right, you chose them correctly, you obviously coached them properly because they were the ones who basically made the lineup for Dave Van Horn, and this year has been a lot different. Just listen to this a couple minutes with me and Dave in the pregame yesterday.
Dave, it hit me when I was writing the lineup in on Tuesday. I wonder how many different lineups you have had, 1 through 9 in different positions, and how creative you've already had to be this year.
Yeah, there's nothing set. I mean, last night I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want to run the batting order, because, you're looking at the wind blowing in, and I put in a power guy, put more of a speed guy in, a defender, pinch hit later, just think about all those things. Nothing's written in stone this year. Last year it got pretty set. We could really hit, and this year's team is a little different. I feel like that placement in the batting order is really important, and if somebody's got to compliment somebody else, you don't really want to stick 2 guys that strike out a lot together, but somebody's got to drive in and run from third, less than 2. Just a lot of those things go through your head. But once the game starts, we hit the order we hit, and everybody needs to do their job.
But one of the constants of late, and I guess a constant all season, has been Helfrich and Kojal, either second or third, depending on how you want to hit them. But now Carter's kind of cemented himself, it feels like, in the top of the batting order.
Yeah, I like Carter there because he'll take a walk, just like Tuesday night. He walked 3 times, got a hit, and struck out. He's on base 4 out of 5 times. He fights you at the plate, probably better than anybody we have. I think Helfrich's pretty good at it as well. But he can get you an 8 to 10 and pitch at bat, and that's always good to see. And when you look at it, Ruiz is the obvious guy you'd think would be leading off. But these also guys could drive in some runs, and now that he's back from his injury, we just thought, let's try him in the middle of the order and see how it works.
And it's also, I guess, so there's the creativity and the thought that you have to put into it, but then is there an acceptance that hitters have to have about where it is that they're going to hit and not fall in love with a specific spot?
Yeah, we talked about it. We talked to the guys about it. I asked them in the fall, where's your favorite place to hit in the order? Just to hear what they say, whether it's second, third, first, clean up. Nobody ever says 8th or 9th, I'll guarantee you that. And but then my thing is that 8-hole, 9-hole looked important to spend the last few weekends winning games, hitting home runs. And I remember, Carson Shaddy hitting the 9-hole in 18 and was hitting 400 all the way till almost the end of the season. I finally had to flip him. He wanted to stay there. I had to move him up to like 5-hole, and he tore it up there too. But, it was just, if it's working, let it go if it's scoring runs. And I almost feel like gives you some power and an athlete every inning, you know, where you can get an infield single, steal a base, or hit a home run. You know, hopefully they don't get to relax too much.
Good luck today, Dave.
Thank you.
Stay with us. Lineups in just a moment.
Well, no, we won't have the lineups in just a moment. We'll have that in about, I don't know, 5 hours or so. But it's like, I was sitting there trying to think of what I'm going to write for the lineup tomorrow. And I remember about at this point last year, because this was around the time that Nolan had his injury. This is when there was a bit of a change in the lineup, but it was injury-based, not performance-based. And he didn't have to stay up wondering what the lineup was going to look like, or you know, who you're going to play in right field, or you know, who you're going to play at first base, or if your third baseman is ready and looks like he's steady now. And Pompey looks like he might be steady. You know, another base hit yesterday gives him a 6-game hitting streak. That's his longest hitting streak. So part of this now is part of it, I think now, Matt, and I know, you know, hope is not a plan, but I also think there is a little bit of hope involved in this, that some of the guys that have had bigger swings and peaks and valleys smooth things out a little. And if Pompey becomes a guy that smooths things out, he could. I mean, he's already really dangerous, but I think that would make him even more dangerous. So, you know, I guess we'll see what the lineup looks like today. I wouldn't be surprised if it's different than it was yesterday, just because it was a winning lineup, and this was sort of the same lineup with maybe one change that you saw on Sunday. So I think there's a good chance to see it today.
Who's made the most improvement since the season started? I know we see that a lot in basketball, and we talk a lot about that. I don't watch as much of the baseball as you do, but what's a player or two that since the season started, man, they've really improved?
Nolan Souza.
Yeah.
And part of it may, Matt, be that his shoulder's really feeling well. Sometimes I wonder about shoulder injuries, not just in terms of throwing, but your bat speed. Even though that shoulder doesn't have everything to do with the bat speed, but, man, he's really swinging it free. And the thing about Nolan now is that I think he has shrunk his strike zone in a way that makes him a more dangerous hitter. And so he's not in a lot of home runs. He's really strong, plenty of power, but he's hitting it down the lines and into the alleys. He's taking what pitchers give him instead of, just being a stubborn kind of a hitter that's always going to look to hit a specific way. And he's a really good second baseman. So, Souza was a guy that was hitting 9th or 8th because he expanded his strike zone for a while. Now you got him in the middle of the batting order, and he's really good. There were 2 plate appearances yesterday. He had 2 walks, 4th inning, 6th inning yesterday, and in those 2 plate appearances, he saw a total of 17 pitches. 17 pitches for it was the same pitcher. Think about that, too. I mean, Joey Volchko this guy got big league stuff. I mean, I don't think as a starter right now, but as a reliever, yes. And one of the reasons that you got him out of the game in 5 innings was because he threw 32 pitches in the 1st inning, and that Nolan Souza saw 17 pitches total in the 4th and 6th inning. And then he was gone after his last at-bat against Souza. So, and he's executing his speed. He stole 2 bases yesterday, 10 steals on the year. He is kind of a 5-tool guy that, one tool that he's not showing is power hitting, but those doubles at some point are going to turn into home runs. And he has the home run capability. I just think the shoulder injury may be a reason why we haven't seen as much of that this year. If I were to look at like pitchers that may have improved the most, I guess I'd go with Dietz, because that first start he really didn't look all that comfortable. What was that against TCU? Yeah, he was gone 2 innings in and wasn't throwing a ton of strikes. Now, where are my stats?
Can you tell by their attitude and by when they're walking around as far as do they have that swagger about them, they have that confidence about them, they don't hang their head, even if it's next pitch, next inning.
Yeah, you know what I don't see? I don't see any poo-poo lip.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I don't see there's no poo-poo lip for this Arkansas team, and there could have been. There really could have been for numerous reasons, not just losing games, but losing your position, losing half of your position. Kuhio's still playing, but it didn't work out for him in right field.
Different role. Kind of have to have that DJ Wagner mindset. Like, hey, whatever I can do for the team. Maybe this game I play 30 minutes. Maybe this game I play here, but maybe one game I play 5 minutes. That's maybe one game you just get to come in to pinch hit.
And like Pompey to me is also an example because there have been a couple of times where he's lost his starting position. And even those days, you see him in the dugout during batting practice with a smile on his face. You know, he's acting like a good teammate. Zach Stewart doesn't get in the lineup as much right now. He's one of the first guys there to congratulate anybody when they hit a home run. So even when they were losing, I still saw in workouts and in pregame workouts smiles, energy. They believed that they were ready to turn things around, and now that they have, there's momentum that goes along with that. 877-377-6963, the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Key today is for Gibler to advance just a little bit more than you saw last week in his first start against Alabama. Now, you know, that was a tight game until they blew it open with 10 runs on the last 2 innings and a 15-6 win. But Gibler had to fight. He had to fight because Alabama had 9 base runners on him in 4 1/3, and uncharacteristically, he walked 4 and didn't get as many swings and misses as usual off that slider. This Georgia team is a better group of hitters than that Alabama team is. So Gibler's going to have, I think he'll have to be a little bit better to make it through 5 innings today. He's got stuff to be a starter. He can keep him off his fastball. He can keep him off the slider, and sometimes his slider is good enough. Even if they're looking for it, they can't hit it. But the big thing for Gibler is don't walk him. You know, there was 2 home runs hit by Georgia yesterday, Matt. They were leadoff home runs. They were solo shots. Unless you hit like 4 or 5 solo home runs, that's not going to be the thing that beats you. It's going to be if you walk a bunch of guys and then serve one up, and it turns into 4-0. That can't happen today. Ryan thinks Pompey's a big league guy. Look, he's got all the capability to be a major leaguer, but it's about being consistent. If you're a roller coaster in the SEC, they're going at the next level, and I don't mean Major League Baseball, I mean single A and then double A. They're going to exacerbate those holes that they find. And then you face a lot of the same pitchers 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 times a season where you don't face pitchers more than once in college ball, and those pitchers they'll work to those holes, man. I mean, that's why guys like Kjerstad and Martin hit so well in the SEC and struggle at the next level. I mean, Kjerstad hit well enough to get to the big leagues, but it's a whole other thing to try to hit major league pitching because those guys scout you, they see you more, and they're just really good at finding your deficiencies. And then if you don't find a way to cover up that deficiency, you're not just going to last long. So TJ's got to be more consistent. But I wouldn't be surprised, like in 5 years or so, if he's up there because he's got the athleticism and everything you want. Great arm. He's fast. He can hit for power. And if he shrinks his strike zone, he might hit for average too. 877-377-6963. If you got any baseball questions, I'll just go long on any of those if you want. NARMC, that's North Arkansas Regional Medical Center. They bring better to you. They're the second largest employer in Harrison. Over 700 employees, over $50 million in annual salaries. NARMC also features the Claude Parrish Cancer Center, where they specialize in providing comprehensive cancer care services. The Radiation Oncology Department performs over 7,500 procedures every year, and the Medical Oncology Department performs over 5,000 procedures every year. They are the most sought-after option for cancer care in North Arkansas. NARMC.com to learn more. We'll be back in a moment. This is halftime.
Ground ball, third base, tough backhand play. TJ Pompey made the play, and all the way across the diamond, he gets him. Wow, what a play by Pompey.
This is halftime.
Hey, Hog fans, Phil Elson here for Bath Makeover of Arkansas, and they're looking for 50 homes to participate in their Spring into Savings event. 50 homeowners will receive test market pricing on a beautiful new walk-in shower. Bath Makeover is proud to be an official sponsor of Razorback Athletics, and they want to evaluate their exciting new product lines in real bathroom conditions, including revolutionary laser etched shower wall systems. You'll be compensated for your time just to determine if their exquisite product lines are the right fit for your bathroom project. The first 50 homeowners who call 1-800-NEW-BATH will receive 50% off installation of a new walk-in shower. Ask about 0% interest financing, senior and military discounts. Receive a $200 gas card with purchase and call Bath Makeover of Arkansas at 1-800-NEW-BATH to receive a $50 Walmart gift card with your free in-home estimate. 1-800-NEW-BATH. That's 1-800-NEW-BATH. That's 1-800-NEWBATH.
It's awfully cold, obviously, as you guys are sitting there shivering.
This is halftime.
Free gas all summer long at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith. Not only do you get sales tax paid, but Adam, free gas all summer long.
Tommy, I'm not a smart guy. I think gas is around $3.50 a gallon. Diesel's around $5 a gallon. Free gas all summer? I've never heard of that. Let's do it.
Come buy any pre-owned vehicle on the lot, state sales tax paid, and free gas all summer long.
Guys, come out here and come see us. It's a great time to buy. Interest rates are down. I've got a ton of inventory in stock. State sales tax paid. We run that sometimes, guys, and you guys come in here and you take advantage. And free gas all summer. Like, come here and come see us. We got signs out front that say more for your trade. Come out here and do that. We'll just buy your car. You don't even have to buy one. You can sell us your car.
State sales tax paid and free gas all summer long. Come get the details at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith. Online at harryrobinson.com. State sales tax paid and free gas all summer long at Harry Robinson Buick GMC.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
Dave and the crew at Eastside Liquor have everything you need. Right now, they have up to 50% off on special markdowns and on-sale items throughout the store that they don't want to transport. And don't forget about their new location coming soon. 9390 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith with a convenient drive-thru. Give them a call at 479-452-7311. Eastside Liquor, everyday low prices on beer, wine, spirits, and cigars.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Back on halftime here. Looks like we're going to have a sale of a Major League Baseball team coming up soon. The Seidler family. I worked for the Seidler family in the California League before they bought the Padres and they owned a minor league team. It's the same family, basically the O'Malleys, that moved the Dodgers from Brooklyn to Los Angeles, but they've been the owners of the Padres for, gosh, I think it's been 20 years or so, and they're going to sell the team for $3.9 billion, which is the most that a Major League Baseball team's ever been sold for, to Jose E. Feliciano and his wife, Kwanzaa Jones. Feliciano is the guy at the top of a major private equity firm and also co-owner of Chelsea Football Club.
Ooh, the Chelsea Blues.
What do we know about Chelsea? Does he
Stamford
run
Bridge.
Chelsea well? Are the Padres going to do well under him?
The Chelsea Blues right now are amazing. They're one of the best teams in the Premier League. They're one of the youngest teams in the Premier League. Cole Palmer is a G. He's going to play on the England national team. He is one. He'll be over in America playing. But yeah, they're kind of like the Razorback baseball team. They got a lot of talent, and they've had a lot of different lineups this year for whatever reason. But Chelsea, they spend money, and they have a lot of young talent on that team.
So if that team's being sold for $3.9 billion, and the Padres on the Forbes list was the 17th most valuable Major League franchise, sandwiched between the White Sox and the Orioles. And Forbes said that they're worth $1.95 billion. They're being sold for not too far from 2 times that amount. One of the whole reasons for this potential lockout and the labor fight between the two sides is that the owners are pointing to their franchise values compared to other sports and saying our values haven't increased as much as the NBA values or the NFL values have increased. Well, they're about to. They're about to. Just by this sale alone, if the Padres are valued by Forbes at just under $2 billion, but the Chelsea owner is going to buy them for a little under $4 billion, doesn't that automatically just inflate the rest of the league's values? I think it does. Well done. Congratulations, Padres and Major League Baseball. Now you don't have to cancel a season.
There won't be a team. I think we were talking about it before the show started today. There won't be a team that's not at least valued at $1 billion. I think if the Pittsburgh Steelers were to go up for sale, they could get $10 billion. I don't even think that's out of the realm of possibility.
What was it when there's the Hawks were the last team in American major sports that would be NBA, Major League Baseball, or NFL that sold for less than $1 billion, and that was 2015. Was it 850? Was that the number?
870 or something like that. Yeah, it was 8 something.
I want to see what the Hawks may be worth now, because if they sold for $850 million 12 years ago, Atlanta Hawks franchise.
They made the
just
playoffs.
Google search.
Yeah, they $4.1 billion.
They sold for under $1 billion 12 years ago. CNBC did NBA valuations. The Atlanta Hawks are now worth $5 to $5.4 billion. This is ridiculous, inflation of these values. But some of it's also got to be on the profits that they turned, isn't it? It's amazing.
They had Trae Young. If you start thinking players that they've had, Joe Johnson had a lengthy career there, for the Atlanta Hawks years ago.
That's amazing. From $850 billion to $5 billion in 12 years.
And haven't had. I'm trying to think. Dominique Wilkins has to be a Hall of Famer. That's their last Hall of Famer.
But it's like you're thinking about when's the last time anybody that the Hawks made this huge impact? I guess and I never think of Atlanta as being some hardcore sports city for their teams because it's an itinerant city. There's plenty of people that grew up there, but then a lot of people move there, and they move there still loving the teams that they grew up with. But there's enough people there to have hardcore fan bases, just not for the NHL because they've lost the NHL twice.
I'll tell you this, Phil. They'll be going home here pretty soon. They play the Atlanta Hawks play the New York Knicks in the first round of the playoffs. So that'll be the last series for them this year.
Okay, so what would the Knicks be valued? MSG,
$10 billion. They're at $10 billion.
Manhattan.
It's any of those.
Basketball city.
Dallas Cowboys, $10 billion franchise. Like there's no way that they would sell for anything less. The New York Knicks, and they haven't won a title since was it 73 or something? 72 Knicks last time that they won an NBA.
That's right. That's the famous Willis Reed. Walking
Bernard
out with
King,
injured ankle or knee. Forbes says that the Knicks are worth over $10 billion.
There you go.
So the Hawks are worth half that much. These are just dollar figures I just have a lot of trouble comprehending. But I guess if you have a billionaire owner, is it just time to throw money at the problem? That's what the Padres have been doing, throwing money at the problem. The problem being the Dodgers, and they still can't overcome them. Is a new owner going to help them? No, because the Dodgers aren't going to have new owners, and they seem to have figured out how to not just dominate over the National League West, but over the National League and over the entire sport. New owner with the Padres, I don't know if that changes that very much. Let's see, some other things to get to here. I saw that Mike Trout hit 5 home runs in a 4-game series at Yankee Stadium. But in the same series, Matt, Aaron Judge hit 4 home runs as they split that 4-game series 2 apiece.
Were they playing in Denver? Yeah.
Right. It was at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's short porch over there.
Well, but they're both right-handed hitters.
Yeah,
so
they probably pull a lot of their home runs, but that short porch is for the lefties, huh? Like you just pop one up, it kind of.
Well, but Trout's more of a pull home run hitter.
Line
Judge
drive.
Hits him everywhere. And if you're a right-handed hitter and you're at Yankee Stadium, you better try to take advantage of that right field fence too. I just brought it up because this is the first series ever where 2 multiple MVP winners that were playing against each other hit at least 3 homers in a series. Because Judge has, I think, 2 MVPs. Trout's got 3. And the only other time where multi-MVP winners both hit 3 homers in the same series, they played for the same team, the 63 Yankees with Maris and Mantle. But to see Trout doing this, because he's always had injuries, whether it's been a knee injury or a wrist or some hamstring strain, and he's come out healthy this year, and he's crushing it. Surefire first ballot Hall of Famer, and still the best player that I've ever been able to watch up close in person as the center fielder for the 2011 Travs. Robert in Barling asks if the Knicks are worth $10 billion, then the Celtics must be worth $20. I'd put the Knicks ahead of the Celtics in terms of franchise value, just because of the city they play in. Like I understand Boston.
They're both
Boston
tier
used to
tier
be a
A.
big. What's that?
They're both A tier. They're both. There's not $1 billion difference in the values of those. If one of them's 10, one of them's 9, or one of them's 11, one of them's 12. They're the storybook. I mean, is LA is the Lakers, Celtics, Knicks, Bulls? You're trying to think of what are the four most expensive basketball franchises. The Mavericks have to be up there, you would think. I mean, because they are in football.
I think the Lakers and the Knicks would have to be at the top of the list. Just anything involving Los Angeles and New York, just the bigness of those cities, and the fact they're both pro sports towns. And look, I mean, the Knicks haven't been successful, but that city. You remember when Linsanity was happening, and that didn't last all that long. It was like the island of Manhattan was going to explode every time Jeremy Lin touched a basketball.
Like 17 games, yeah.
Yes.
It was amazing.
And they still talk about it. Like I have from New York friends that still talk about Linsanity. Like anybody else cares. Like that's a basketball town. You want to if they ever, and maybe they do now, if they ever had a team that's worthy of winning an NBA championship, that would be the end of New York City. The parade, they wouldn't even be able to hold the parade. It would be too much.
They need to get Giannis. If they can find a way to get Giannis because their window's closing, those guys, they've been through a lot of battles. Injuries are going to, you're only healthy for so long. But Phil, Jalen Brunson's one of the best point guards in the game, and that's who their point guard is. And you got a really good point guard, you always got a chance.
Matt in Fayetteville wonders when they start seeing the value of college teams. That's already out there. Like Forbes does valuations of one college program compared to another. The Hogs are in the top. Everything in college is like a top 25, so Arkansas is in the top 25 of most valued athletic departments, football, baseball, and basketball. But that's already done. I just think it's got to be figured out much differently. It's there's just a lot more. There's a lot, with everything that goes on with a professional franchise. at least it's just the one sport. Like the MSG owns the Rangers and the Knicks, but they're separate as I would think. So they're treated differently. Arkansas football and Arkansas baseball and Arkansas basketball all are contributing to their own bottom lines, but it's really contributing to the one bottom line at Arkansas, and that's kind of the one that matters. Football is the one that's going to bring it all in. 877-377-6963 to get with us on our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. I've got to figure out a Fish City Grill Trivia Friday question for you at some point. Also got to get Unit some halftime homework for the weekend. You could get some homework done at Crabtree RV Center if you go to crabtreerv.com and get a look at their entire inventory, or just stop by the junction of I-40 and I-49 where they've been for all these years. Crabtree RV Center is going to make sure that you walk away with the best RV purchasing experience, personalized financing, top-of-the-line parts and service department where you make your purchase. Crabtree RV Center, making your dreams come true. And we'll wrap up hour number 2 of halftime after this.
Gackles 3-2. He struck him out looking. Got Black on the outside corner with a slider. Gackle with a perfect 7th.
This is halftime.
Rib. I want the rib.
People can get pretty particular about their ribs, and at New Myers Rib Room, they can too. Do you want to join an awesome team and serve mouth-watering championship-level ribs where the best brews and tunes flow? Come to work at New Myers Rib Room in historic downtown Fort Smith at 5th and Garrison. They're hiring new staff. Apply today and be a part of Fort Smith's most vibrant dining experience.
Now I'm here to eat ribs. Lots of ribs.
Save some green this spring at Rath Auto Resources. We've been hard at work getting ready for warmer weather, and we've put our best roster of road-ready certified pre-owned cars on the ground, priced to move and backed by a comprehensive warranty. With our non-commissioned sales team, painless pricing playbook, and the nation's best lenders, Rath's got the River Valley's deepest bench ready to take all the hassle out of getting your next ride. Don't settle for just any used car. Make the switch to Road Ready Certified and save some green this spring at Rath Auto Resources. Voted best pre-owned cars in the River Valley. 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. RathAutoFortSmith.com.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging, your Xerox authorized dealer in the River Valley. Xerox is more than just a brand, it's your ultimate business partner. Whether you need high-speed printers, powerful copiers, or seamless cloud solutions, Xerox has the tools to keep your business running smoothly and efficiently. And right now, for a limited time, we're offering a free Xerox color printer with the lease or purchase of many Xerox models. To learn more, call us at 783-6600 or visit us at dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, your partner in business success.
Rev up, riders, because a Suzuki demo truck is rolling into Wheeler Power Sports April 24th and 25th. Now is your chance to throw a leg over the latest Suzuki motorcycles and feel the power for yourself. Street bikes, sport bikes, and many more ready and waiting for you to test ride. Don't dream it, ride it. Join us at Wheeler Power Sports for this limited time event. Spots fill fast, so don't miss out. Check in, gear up, and hit the road with Suzuki. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether you're catching the game, meeting up with friends, or grabbing an easy dinner. With over 60 TVs at each location, scratch-made food, and ice-cold beers, it's the perfect spot for any occasion. From po' boys and gumbo to voodoo shrimp, burgers, and fresh salads, there's something for everyone. And if you're holding your own event, feed the team like a champ with Walk-Ons Catering. Perfect for game day, work day, or any day in between. Visit your nearest Walk-Ons or order online today. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Hey, it's Phil Elson. James Teague with the Teague Law Firm is back for his 4th season on Halftime Fridays, 12:15. Baseball teams go through tough times, so do families. Teague Law Firm is ready to come out of the bullpen and help with guardianships, adoption, and child support. Sometimes we make the wrong pitch, but luckily, the Teague Law Firm is there. Criminal law such as traffic offenses and DWIs are right up their alley. 479-877-1688 to call James and the Teague Law Firm. Also online at teague-law.com.
He struck him out swinging.
Lewis Automotive, celebrating over 80 years since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive. Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Back on halftime, wrapping up our second hour. I haven't come up with a trivia question for Fish City Trivia Friday just yet. You know, I'm so sick and tired of AI, so I was going to look and see if how many different athletes, Matt, with the initials AI are in various halls of fame, whether it's the NBA or whether it's Major League Baseball or the Pro Football Hall of Fame. You know how many athletes have with the initials AI are in a Hall of Fame?
7.
1.
Oh, Allen Iverson.
That's it. Just the one. Just Allen
Andre
Iverson.
Iguodala should. I think he gets in. I would not a first ballot, but he might be Kenny Lofton though. He might just be on the cusp. He was one of the best. Phil, it's a weird. There was a time in the game where he was the best defensive guard in the game. Like he at that, but it's just not a flashy type of position.
2-time All-Defensive Team, 1-time All-Star, 4-time NBA champ. Just being an All-Star one time though, I don't know. It's
because he wasn't flashy. He's not
guy.
scoring the points, but defensively, he was just as good as anybody to play the game in his time, guarding the other team's best player. No question about it.
Well, he was the 2015 NBA Finals MVP.
He held LeBron to 40 a game. That was the joke. It's like, well, what are you going to do? Prime LeBron, you couldn't stop him.
Well, maybe there's a couple of AIs in the Hall of Very Good. If he doesn't make Springfield, he can go in whatever basketball's Hall of Very Good would be. So I still need the trivia question to give away a $25 gift card to Fish City Grill. I'll figure one out. Sometimes these things just pop up out of the blue every once in a while. And then we'll get some halftime homework for our friend the Unit. And then you and me, Unit, I think are doing the show solo on Monday. Next week is going to be well, it's not going to be a totally Matt Jones-less week.
I'll be back Friday. It's a little birthday week. I'll be gone Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I'll be back Friday. And then we'll be in Hot Springs. Is that Monday? Yeah.
I think that's Monday the 27th, which is my father's birthday.
Well, happy
birthday. With some
birthday.
barbecue.
Yeah, and Champions League is that Tuesday and Wednesday, so I'm glad it got moved over, so it'll be all good.
It's pretty perfect. But that, you know what that means, Unit? Next Wednesday, we've got to have a birthday party for Amber Heard live on the show.
Okay.
All right?
Is
Andy Corrigan too?
And if you want me to on Monday, I can text in some 3 up, 3 downs. You know, it's my favorite segment.
That's right. And then Charlie.
No, Daniel Johns
as well. Just make sure you text with a shirt on. Please.
Not Billy Corgan, Daniel Johns.
Hour number 3 of halftime. We'll have Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen joining us in 20 minutes. Otherwise, wide open for hour number 3. Stay with us.
Spring is in the air, and the fish are biting, the gobblers are strutting, and the trees are blooming. Jelco Outdoors, your locally owned one-stop shop, is ready to help you get outside and enjoy the great outdoors. Stop by and let our friendly staff help you get the gear you need. Jelco Outdoors, your store for hunt, fish, and work. That's what we do. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors. Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 5.9% financing for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2026 GMC Canyon for as low as $399 a month with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Spring is here, and at WT Equipment, we're doing some spring cleaning of our Hustler zero-turn inventory. That means serious savings with 0% financing for 42 months on new Hustler zero-turn mowers. If your grass is growing, it's time to upgrade your cut with speed, precision, and durability of a Hustler. Come see us today at WT Equipment in Springdale or visit WTEquip.com and take advantage of these limited-time spring deals. Hustler, cut better, cut faster.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Mostly sunny sky today. We may see an isolated shower or rumble of thunder across the north. High temperatures into the middle 80s. Chance of seeing showers and a few thunderstorms tonight. An overnight low will drop down close to the upper 50s. South, right around the 50-degree mark. North, another round of showers and storms, cooler on Saturday. I'm Sally Russell with the forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for wine, specialty beers, and liquor. Located at 12100 Highway 71 South in Fort Smith. KERX Paris, Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field. People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Even one Razorback is vintage Matt Jones. The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
It's 1:01 in the afternoon. Halftime continues into the golden hour now on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson with Matt Jones. Kristen Johnston producing back in the studios, the unit. And on our last hour here of the week, you can call, you can text on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline at 877-377-6963. Have Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen coming on in about 15 minutes. But other than that, anything that you would like to hit on here. I forget what video this was. I saw recently, Matt. It was from spring ball. It might have been from Southeast Missouri. I want to double check about this, but I saw a frightening football drill, basically of like a fumble and guys just diving on it all at the same time. It looked like guys were having their legs taken out from underneath them. Looked like one of the most dangerous drills I've ever seen in my entire life. If I find this on my bookmarks, I got to send this thing to you, because I think you would look at this and you'd think, who the hell would want to play for this coach? And
You
then
remember that?
I'm reading some of Zay Flowers' comments about playing for John Harbaugh, and he is saying basically that all the injuries we dealt with are because of the hard practices that Harbaugh put us through.
Well, Harbaugh's a little bit like Tom Thibodeau. He's old school, and the league started changing when I was kind of getting done playing, where less two-a-days, less physical. Once you get to that level, it's all about being right on Sundays. But some of those coaches, man, it's going to be you suit them up, and you're going to go out there and you're going to thud and you're going to hit. And what is Harbaugh? I mean, most of the time, what is his identity? They're the toughest team out there. That's like really so that's kind of what his old school mentality is. But I think when you win championships in any sport, if it's baseball, basketball, or football, you have to be tough. I mean, there has to be an attitude about yourself. But yeah, it's the old argument of NBA from the 80s to now. Well, in the NBA in the 80s, you had one guy on the team making $1 million. Now everybody on the team's making $1 million, and a lot of people are making $25 million a year, and you don't want those guys hurt. So just by whatever you're telling the referees to do and how you're officiating the game is totally different now than why it was 30 years ago. And it's the same thing kind of in the football world. You want to keep everybody healthy because when you have the talent, you have those guys that can go, you want to make sure they're able to play on Sundays.
I gotta find I can't find the video of this, but it's just the most ridiculous drill. I mean, it looks like the coach is telling his players to go high-low on each other, and it's like they're taking out each other's knees and everything. And I just think there's got to be a fine line to walk of the need to hit and the need to instill physicality right now, but not doing things that's going to – because look at one of the things about Baltimore that, yes, they're tough, and they're always tough during the regular season, but what defines the Baltimore Ravens under Harbaugh, at least in the last 10 years or so, is having the best quarterback potentially for that year, a league MVP, and not making it to the last game of the season.
Turnovers. Seemed like in the playoffs man, it's tough. I know, and you know that, but in the playoffs, it's almost they tried to press a little bit. They kind of weren't their identity. That's as far as talent level, man, they have talent up in the best running back in the game, best quarterback in the game. They had the best field goal kicker for a few years in the game. We all still think of Ray Lewis and Ed Reed when you're talking Baltimore Ravens. They're tough.
What's the hardest practices you remember?
Well, in high school in the River Valley, it was warmer. It's hotter than in Fayetteville. Fayetteville wasn't. It was the temperature never bothered you. In Florida, in Jacksonville, quarterback to receiver is totally different. You'd have days where you're going to lose 8 pounds out there in one practice in one 2-hour session, and so we would practice at 9, 10 in the morning, but then you wouldn't practice again till 7 in the evening because you couldn't go out there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon in Florida and practice and get anything done because you are losing so much water weight. Then that's how you have a lot of soft tissue issues, and that's one of the things changing from from quarterback to receiver in the way you run and the way you do things. That's some of that. It took me a while to get used to.
Man, and I come from this sport where in baseball, it's like some teams just literally stop working out in the heat of the summer because you got a game at 7 o'clock unless you got some sort of indoor facility. Why are you going to be out there taking batting practice in 98 degrees.
Well, it's
in
like
5 o'clock sunlight.
What'd your baseball coach tell you when you were in 4th grade when you had a little time off? Don't go to the pool. Don't go out and sit out in the sun all day and go, because then if you do, if you had a pool party, and you could tell. You could tell.
Well, that's what those minor league players all did on days off, because they wouldn't have a day off for 3 weeks, and so that 22nd day, everybody, they all lived together in the same apartment complex, and so it was a huge pool party. Maybe had some losing streaks start after the day off. I think that could be pretty legitimate. But I've never been at a baseball practice and worried that somebody's going to get hurt. Like there's basketball practices where there's certain drills that can let's work on going after the loose ball, guys. Usually, it's a pretty important aspect of the sport, truthfully. But hey, let's maybe we'll do it while you're wearing a helmet.
Yeah, there used to be a thing where you'd have to the day you had to learn how to slide into second base. I say the day you had to learn every time 4th grade, 6th grade, so whenever you play baseball, when you got out, it's like, all right, take off from first. You're going to have a head first slide and a foot first. And sometimes people didn't know how to do those slides, without proper coaching, how do you lift your head, keep your head up, how do you dive down, make sure you land on your, where to land. And sometimes coaches wouldn't, and kids would get hurt practicing those slides. Yeah.
The only time I've broken one bone in my life. Now watch it happen later tonight. Broken one bone in my life, and it was sliding into second base. I was tagged out on an attempted steal at the age of 12. That's it. Left ankle. That was it. And it wasn't. I slid just fine. It was because we played on a really, I would think, an unsafe field. But it's like every time I go to one of the Little League games that my son plays in, and I see kids that don't start sliding until they're a foot from the base. Like you are. I hope you got a third foot ready to go, because one of those feet is going to stop working sometime soon.
Hyperextend something.
And then they got to practice sliding. It's a little different than on a ballpark like this. Anytime you go to a field that's all turf, you slide differently on those sort of on those sort of fields. But Flowers on this podcast that he was on, which is called 4th and South, said the new coach Jesse Minter just basically said to him, he said, "It's going to be a little easier on your body with me as your head coach, but then we'll see if they're." If they kind of, for as long as they have, it's, they to me, the Ravens had still sort of been the kings of that division for a long time, even though Baltimore, I think Cincinnati's won a division title, the Steelers did last year. But we'll see. Maybe that's a reason why Harbaugh was let go. We're all shocked about it because you see the regular season record. You see a Super Bowl winning quarterback. But also we'll see what happens with the Giants this year. Maybe if they end up with a ton of injuries too.
Man, the NFL draft's coming up next week. You guys get to talk a little bit about that. Hopefully Friday we'll be able to touch a little bit on that. But the Dolphins have 7 picks in the top 100. The first draft of your era, of your regime, is very important. The new coaches, Cleveland has a new coach, Harbaugh being with the Giants. What's the latest on Tomlin? Talk about somebody moving in the shadows lately. What's Tomlin doing?
I don't know anything that he's doing. There's this foregone conclusion he's going to go to television, and I haven't heard anything about it. Meanwhile, I'm over at your place yesterday getting ready for the show.
I couldn't believe that.
We got CBS Sports Network on, and who's there in studio? Brian Kelly, wearing a blue suit.
Looking like a pastor. That's right. Looking like a televangelist.
He'd be a great televangelist.
Oh, man.
Oh, goodness. You would have thought there'd be something maybe there was an announcement about it, or maybe there isn't, because it's like Kelly, even watching him, and I saw him for 30 seconds, I felt really uncomfortable watching him on TV.
Cringe. Just looking at him, you're like, ah.
Maybe I won't watch very much CBS Sports Network during the college football season. Though. Yeah, on an $800 television. We'll break in a moment, talk with Neil Atkinson from Bet Sarazen. Want to remind you first about, the Teague Law Firm. We're not unable to get James today. The Teague Law Firm, though, is in Northwest Arkansas, should be your go-to law firm. Here's what they can help you with: family law, bankruptcy, wills and estates, personal injury, criminal defense, and corporate law. Also help with divorce, custody cases, paternity cases, too. We always enjoy having James Teague with us on Fridays, but I think he's as a professional, he had work to do, and that's got to come up first. You'll always talk to a lawyer at the Teague Law Firm. You call 479-877-1688. They will call you back if you have to leave a message. That's the Teague Law Firm. If they can't help you, they'll talk baseball. And Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen joins halftime after this.
Lewis Automotive, celebrating over 80 years, since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive. Guaranteed satisfaction for at least 4 hours a day. This is Ruskin and Zach.
His toilet was solid black. I thought y'all would have commented about that. Who has the black toilet? I'm sure it had the skid mark. You know, it's
the luxury item, man.
You don't have to clean it so much.
Carpeted bathroom?
Yes, correct.
Like shag carpeting in the bathroom?
Yes. Just when he fell forward taking a dump, he landed face first in the carpet.
A friend is someone who knows where you came from. Someone who always shows up when you need them. Someone who's there for the good times and the challenging ones. With comprehensive insurance policies backed by award-winning customer service, Shelter Insurance is committed to being there when you need us most.
Call Brandon Zimmerman in Barling or call Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or take 5.9% financing for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2026 GMC Canyon for as low as $399 a month with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Looking for a career with a company built to last? At Forsgren, we've been shaping the future of the River Valley since 1936. Nearly 90 years of excellence, innovation, and family-driven leadership. From sidewalks that still stand today to major infrastructure projects across the region, our legacy is built on quality and community. Apply now at GoForsgren.com. Join the Forsgren legacy, where your work becomes part of something lasting. Forsgren, building the foundation of the River Valley for 4 generations. Apply now at GoForsgren.com.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Lindbergh and the Lindbergh Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LindberghTeam.com, LIMBIRD.
In this part of the country, it's a way of life. You're going about your day without a cloud in the sky. Then suddenly, you find yourself wondering how solid your home really is. With over 30 years of certified experience, let our team give you the same assurance on a stormy night that you feel on a clear afternoon. Before the downpour, before the leaks, call Foster Roofing, serving Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley since 1994.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
I'm playing with this bow and arrow. Gonna give my heart away, leaving to the other girls to play. For I've been adventurous too long.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Lewis Automotive, celebrating over 80 years since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive. Now let's get back to halftime with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Arkansas football legend, Matt Jones.
Headed to the Lewis Automotive Group hotline here, and Neil Atkinson joining us, Senior Director of Gaming Operations at Saracen Casino. And, hey, Neil, how you doing today? The Hogs brought home the bacon last week, didn't they?
They absolutely did, and they're they're halfway there at least. All they got to do is win tonight or Saturday, and that one will cash in. I was ready for it to cash in because of the series of previous, but I'm glad they got out of that little bad streak or slump that they were in, and boy, did they come out of it decisively with that sweep last week. Good showing against UAPB at Dickey Stevens Park, and last night I knew was critical if they were going to get the series win against Georgia. Every game is important, but being able to have those two pitcher matches up, and of course, better than I do, the home run capability of what Georgia has done this year. I mean, that was just an incredible win, and I hope they snap it off tonight and go ahead and lock in the series. And heck, hey, another sweep against Georgia, that's huge because I think going into this week, there's kind of some question whether or not they'll get a home regional, and this will go a long way if they could get these quad one wins in and get a home regional, which we're used to that around here, and we definitely want to see it, especially since Saracen's name's on the dugout.
Yep, it is. It's on both dugouts, and we like playing home games. Although the last couple of times the Hogs have gone on the road for regionals and super regionals, they've won and gone to Omaha anyway. But I don't know, it seems to have a little bit more meaning in front of your own fans, and I think they'd like to see if they could start a tradition. If they do, host a super here and win and do the whole parade like they did last year. But there's other postseasons that are about to start here, Neil. You got the NBA play-in tournament happening.
Oh, yeah.
NHL playoffs get going this weekend. And I know hockey's not huge in the South when it comes to the postseason. They're really in that much. It's more exciting than NHL playoffs.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we'll start seeing the uptick with it. And, of course, it's competing with the NBA playoffs. Right now, baseball is the number one sport, but between Major League Baseball and NC2A, it's about 40%. And then basketball, after the tournament's over with, NBA is 30%. Then after that, last week with the Masters, golf was about 10% of what we did. And we still wrote more on table tennis and in soccer than we did in hockey. And it's just a regional thing. There's a couple of hockey teams in St. Louis and the Dallas Stars, but we're not really a hockey state. But anytime you get playoff type level competition, people start paying attention to it, and we'll see what kind of attention that we get to it. But it's just this region, and it's just what customers do. And now I've invested in NHL hockey, and we usually stream one or two nights a game. The NHL won't let us stream all of them. But we stream one or two games a night on there, and we always notice the streaming games always do a little bit more betting, especially in live betting when we have that on the app. But I always love to see that people pick that up. But hockey's always been hard for us to penetrate around here.
Well, you got a bunch of promotions for NBA playoffs. You always got to click on the promotions link when you go to betsaracen.com, either on your phone or on a web browser, because I'm looking at 4 different NBA promotions right now, Neil.
Yep. Yeah, we've got the NBA series sweep protection. That one right there, if you pick on a team and they get swept, you'll get some of the money back. But most people are going to be using the playoffs, the 20% profit boost, and we also have the NBA 50% no sweat bet. The one the one I'm really happy about and proud of is the brackets that we're doing for the NBA playoffs this year, and that one's free to enter. The only requirement is that you got to have a Bet Saracen account, and if you don't have one, make sure you register and get one, and make sure you use the code GET250. That way, when you make your first $25 bet, you'll get $250 in free bets that you can use over the next 2 weeks. But other than that, as a great welcome offer, we got that bracket leaderboard, and now it's a little bit different than the NCAA tournament. You pick the series winners, not the individual game winners, just due to the format of the tournament. And the tiebreaker will be how many points that are scored in the NBA Finals, whether it's 4 games or 7 games. You just pick however many points. And here's a little secret. You can enter it right now and make your picks because the play-in tournaments, we got the two-way markets like you do the first 4 for the NCAA when you do those brackets. But we are keeping registration open for the winner of for the first series and for you to complete your bracket until Monday. So that means you can see who wins game 1 and all the series games that are played on Saturday and Sunday and make your selection. It may not make a lot of difference for a lot of people on who they're going to advance to the next round, but if you want to do that and see kind of how a team is playing, you can have game 1 under the belt before you lock your bracket in. But you want to make sure by Monday, before the game goes off on Monday evening, the games 2 of any of the series, that you have your picks locked in, so you're in the contest all the way to the end.
Neil, I go to betsaracen.com, and then I look on the baseball link, and then there's all sorts of options there: MLB, NCAA Top 25, NCAA, and Live. I click on Live, and here are a couple of games that are being played right now, including the Mets and the Cubs that are underway. And as I click on that, here's an interface that shows me they're in the top of the first inning. Francisco Lindor is batting. Edward Cabrera is pitching. The count is 1-2. There's 2 outs. It gives you pitch by pitch. And then below the game interface, there's all of the various prop bets and other bets that are available for this game. This is as interactive as it gets. You got the bet builder that's connected to each of the bets, and you can see exactly what you're not watching the game, but it's almost like you're watching the game.
Yep. Yeah, it is, and live in-play betting, people really do love that because. Baseball, in the past we used to have to bet the game and wait till the game was over for it to get settled. But with the technology and that we have official data from the different leagues, we're able to make these markets. And I know in the past you probably saw our flash bets, our pitch by pitch, and those have been off the site because the company that we were getting that from was gobbled up by one of the big national operators. And I'm happy to say we've been doing testing over this week, and we will have those pitch-by-pitch markets back and those even more interactive markets back starting next week, and that will be added onto. And the same company is going to supply our NBA in-play betting and including WNBA, and of course we're getting ready for World Cup later on this year. And get ready for football season already, and not to mention that the draft is here in another week or so. So it seems like a lot of people think, after NCAA things die down. No, it really doesn't on my side because football is such a huge acquisition period. You got to start preparing as soon as basketball is winding down and we go into the summer sports. We're full speed ahead getting ready for football season, but in the meantime, we still got a lot going on, and a new one for me is that we're going to have a lot more attention on the World Cup with it being over here this year, and we're already seeing an uptick in English Premier League, which those finals are coming up, Champions League, and, of course, the friendlies too. So everything's going on all the time, and this live in-play betting is really, really taking off, and we're proud of our offering that we got on it.
I also see, now it's like you mentioned the NFL draft. We won't have you on before the draft starts. Today will be the last time. There's a lot of options here. How popular is the NFL draft for football fans on Bet Saracen?
Yeah, until we get to next Wednesday and next Thursday, that's where you'll see the majority of it coming in. Now, we all know who's going to be the number one overall draft pick. That market right there probably doesn't have a lot of value. If that was pretty much a given, but there is a little bit of drama around who's going to be the second and the third pick, and over and under or certain players and all of that. I mean, it's a huge menu, and that's why I tell people, kind of like talking about it a week before, there are so many different options out there. You can go and decide what your team or any team is going to draft first, and what position certain players are going to go in, or what's going to be the position of the first draft for each individual team. And of course, one that's pretty fun that a lot of people like to do is Mr. Irrelevant. That's the last person that is picked in the draft. And a couple of years ago, Mr. Irrelevant was a starting quarterback in a Super Bowl not too long ago. So that market is a fun one. But yeah, you want to start looking at that and studying it. And like I said, there's not a whole lot of drama about who's going to be the first pick in Mendoza. If it's not him, it will be a shock, and it'll be the biggest story of the day for sure. But with social media and all the mock drafts and all of the pundits, they're getting pretty good at getting this stuff predicted in. But every now and then we may get a trade and get a surprise by a team here and there.
Neil, let's leave it there. Appreciate you jumping on with us, and then next week we'll talk about a little bit more of the same things. Okay, always appreciate you joining us.
All right, great. And also, Bet Saracen's the only one that offers softball. The Lady Hogs are playing at Oklahoma this weekend, and of course Oklahoma lost to their in-state rivals in their midweek game. So Oklahoma's a big favorite over a -350, but I would love to see Arkansas at least snap off 1-2 and get the series if they could. But we know how good Oklahoma is in softball. But Arkansas is not too shabby, and they're ranked number 6, and that's a good tournament. So you can check that out too. So good luck, everybody. Good luck on your parlays, and have a great weekend. And let's go ahead and get that series win later on tonight.
Neil Atkinson is the Senior Director of Gaming Operations for Saracen Casino. Bet Saracen can be downloaded for your iPhone from the App Store. Android users download from Google Play, betsaracen.com, and any web browser. But make sure you're in the state of Arkansas to use Bet Saracen. Here's one prop bet for the NFL draft. This one's kind of interesting, considering that the SEC has had the most first-round draft choices of any of the conferences for 19 straight years. And then look at these here. They've got ACC, Big 10, Big 12, SEC players selected in the first round with an over-under on each of them. The over-under for ACC players selected in the first round is 6.5, 5.5 for the Big 12, 8.5 for the SEC, 11.5 for the Big 10. So the corner of the end, you'll probably see some of the same odds on many of the other gaming apps or betting apps around the country. You could end up, you've had this streak of 3 Big Ten national championships, but yet the SEC has had more players still picked in the first round, even though the Big Ten has 2 more schools. But it looks like that, well, just judging by what the bookies are thinking, the Big Ten's going to have more players selected in the first round, and maybe they'll have more players picked overall for the first time in, I think it's been 20 years, than the SEC. Very interesting. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. We are in the home stretch, and we'll be back in just a moment with our Fish City Friday trivia question.
There's a high drive by Rudenbar towards the video board. It might clear it. Way out of here. Carter Rudenbar over the video board.
This is halftime.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Harry Robinson, Salisal Ford.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
From sauce to dust to nuggets. Diablo dusted crispy chicken nuggets. No, they don't come in mild. That would make like 0 sense with the name. Or the whole explosion thing we just did. New Diablo Dusted Crispy Chicken Nuggets. A brand new classic. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
And I'm bummed out. I saw Garrett Anderson passed away today. The Angels tweeted out about it. He was just short, about a couple of months short of his 54th birthday. part of the Angels 2002 World Championship. He was an All-Star MVP, 3-time All-Star, won a home run derby. And there was something about Garrett Anderson, Matt, where he always just looked professional. He always had a professional look in his face, professional at-bat, played for the Angels for all but 2 years of a really – he'd be a Hall of Very Good guy. But 54 or 53 is too young. Just saw it was a medical emergency, so I don't know what it was. That sucks. But I remember that 2002 World Series he played in because that's the one World Series that the Giants made with Barry Bonds. That's the one series Bonds played in. And it was a California against California World Series, which has only happened 3 times. Fish City trivia question for you today. The person who gets this question correct will have a $25 gift card coming to you from Fish City Grill in Rogers. There have been 3 all-time California versus California World Series. What was the first? Obviously, the Angels and the Giants are one of them, but that's the only hint that you're going to get. 877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, and the first correct answer will get a $25 gift card to Fish City Grill in Rogers. I also want to make sure that I give a shout-out to the Cotter Lady Warriors softball team and Jared Jefferson, who is the softball coach. Our friend Philip Rice, who is the bus driver for the team today, has requested that. So good luck. Very, very much good luck. We just got our first incorrect answer about the trivia question, and I'm not going to give you any extra hints because I would assume that most people's answer is the answer that I just got here, which is incorrect. So nothing is coming just yet. Yes.
And I know everybody's been pins and needles. Top Gun 3 just announced that they're going to do a Top Gun. So the first Top Gun was 1986. They had to wait years for the second one. Don't have to wait such a long time. And Top Gun Maverick came out during the COVID era, and it got people going. They shattered all the records because people were at home for the 9 months or so, and then they all went to see Top Gun 2. It was like everybody getting back out of the house again.
I enjoyed that movie in the theater.
It was amazing. I went twice to see it in the theater. It was you wanted to experience that on the big screen.
But when does Top Gun become Old Gun?
When did it become Naked Gun?
Well, I mean, at some point, Rocky got too old to start fighting because he couldn't fight anymore, so he had to coach Creed. So I mean, I guess that was a little bit of what Maverick was about. He was still up in the air, man. So when is Top Gun about drone fighting? When is it Tom Cruise sitting in a gaming chair at age 75 with his feet up in the stirrups, like, kind of looking more like he's in Minority Report?
Man, Minority Report, C-Unit homework right there. That's a movie that's on the list.
Oh, I think that's a great movie.
That's a good movie for if the unit.
Christian, have you seen Minority Report with Tom Cruise?
No. And the 3 oracles?
All right. Yeah. Oh God, this freak you out, man. It'll
totally
freak you out.
He needs to see Minority Report.
See, now that's a pretty good example of a dystopian society that thinks that they figured things out. Mm-hmm. You'll learn about pre-crime. You better have pure thoughts after you watch this movie, Unit.
They're
Otherwise,
going to come get you.
They are definitely coming to get you.
Well, I already believe
that's a good assignment, Matt. Well done. Halftime homework will be brought to you by our friends at Flyway Brewing. It's a great place for lunch meetings or even just lunch during the week. It's a place that will impress. Great menu, great space for private dining. Flyway, of course, also features fresh, delicious, cold, crisp beer ready when the workday wraps up. And they got big screens, so you never miss a minute of the game. Great food, fresh beer, all the action. Flyway Brewing Company in Fayetteville on Zion Road. Make it your next stop. And he has been officially assigned Minority Report by Matt Jones. Well done. And he's seen all the Top Guns. So how many different Rockies were there? Were there 8? If you count Creed.
There's
been 3 Creeds. I think there was 6 different Rockies. There was Rocky, Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, Rocky 5, Rocky Balboa. And then I think there have been 3 Creeds. There's been 9 Rocky movies. We have to have 9 Top Guns.
Man, I forgot Colin Farrell was in Minority Report. Is Minority Report where he has to have eye surgery in that one, and he reaches in for the sandwich and gets the Unit, you're gonna
Was
love
it
It's a
that
good-
one, or was that War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise?
Oh, that's another good one. Yeah.
Have you seen War of the Worlds, Unit, with Tom Cruise?
I have.
See,
Oh,
that's a
you've seen
good
that
one
one, yeah.
too.
Seen that one.
Was the freaky scene with the removal of the eyes in that movie, or was it Minority Report?
It's
'Cause
Minority.
It would work in Minority Report better. Yes. See, we're getting our science fiction Tom Cruise movies mixed up here a little bit, which I think has happened a few times before. We do have the correct answer on the first California versus California World Series. So many people sent in the Earthquake series in '89. That's
That's the one I thought of when. Yeah.
That's not the one. That was Oakland versus San Francisco. The first California versus California World Series was the 1974 Dodgers versus Oakland A's World Series, which the Dodgers, I think the A's had won in 72 and 73, and so this was a three-peat for them. 75 was the Big Red Machine, and the first of their repeat. The Yankees won a couple after that. So this would be the final World Championship that the A's won. I think Dick Williams was the manager, and then they didn't win another one until the Earthquake Series in '89. So I guess for Oakland to win World Championships, at least in the last two, they've got to be playing a team from California. But then again, they did lose one to the Dodgers the year before in '88. So that would be four. That would be four different World Series that have had California teams. And the Dodgers and Oakland in 1974 is the first. Nate in Bentonville got it right. Congratulations, Nate. He's got a $25 gift card from Fish City Grill coming your way. Chris says, fine. You don't need 9 Jaws movies. Gosh, there were a lot of different Jaws movies. I remember in the 80s there was like Jaws 4 in 3D. And that was bad 3D, man. That was really bad 3D. How many Jaws movies have been out? Have you ever seen Jaws, Unit? Did you see that one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I think we might have assigned that one to you at some point. It's only been 4 Jaws movies. We didn't need 8 because he didn't get 8. But there have been, 20 different Fast and Furious?
And Saws. Yes. The thing about Fast and Furious is they only get more fast and more furious.
At some point you run out of fastness, don't you?
Tokyo Drift is the best.
Tokyo. See, I've never seen it. I've only saw the first one. What was it? Yeah, the Saws. It seems like there's like a Saw 7 now, though. Do you remember going to see Are you a scary movie guy? See, Unit.
Yes. Yes.
So you saw the first Saw, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I've still never seen any of them. I probably should watch one.
They're thrillers now.
Believe it or not, I don't like to see blood and gore, but I do like scary movies. So.
Well, you got to watch Halloween then, because that's got the scariness and none of the blood or the gore.
What about Hostel? Have you seen the Quentin Tarantino Hostel? He kind of helped on that.
I know some of the stuff that movie. I could not even bring myself to put that thing on.
Yeah, that's tough, right? That'll make you cringe a little bit.
The thing I can't watch is torture. I don't want to be watching torture.
That's my thing, yeah.
Oh, that's your thing you're into, Unit?
That's my thing I'm not into.
I'm glad he just corrected himself. Otherwise, I'm a little worried about doing Monday's show with him, just me and him. Ooh.
It depends.
Yeah, it's you're in a weird spot there to not like blood, but like horror movies. Blair Witch Project, did that have any blood? Nightmare on Elm Street. Did you see Nightmare on Elm Street? We're not assigning you any extra movies because you got Minority Report.
Freddy Krueger.
There have been like 8 different Nightmare on Elm Streets. My grandfather took me to one of them. I think he took me to Nightmare on Elm Street 4, and I'll never forget Hyman Sosis walking out of the movie theater. I had a big smile on my face. I'm 13. I had my grandfather take me to an R-rated movie. It was great. It was so much fun. I had a big smile on my face. Look at Grandpa. What did you think of the movie, Grandpa? Of course, this is a man who he never used the words goodbye. It was just so long. He just was the old school New Yorker that moved to Florida all those years ago. What did you think of the movie, Grandpa? Stupid picture.
Stupid picture.
That was his review. That was his Siskel and Ebert. Stupid picture. That was his 2 thumbs down. And he was probably right too. In fact, I guarantee he was right because I sort of remember that movie, and it was stupid.
Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, there's 3 different versions of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then there's the sequels that go after them. So that's a whole different level. But Minority Report will work for you. That'll work for you. That'll get you thinking a little bit.
That's what I like.
It's got some existential questions about humanity that I think will be good for you to think about yourself. And again, congratulations to Nate in Bentonville. 1974 A's over the Dodgers for the first ever California versus California World Series. Wow. And you see any others? 'Cause it's got to be American League versus National League. The only American League team left in California are the Angels, and they just don't seem to go anywhere any longer. So who knows? How many Sharknadoes are there, Scott?
Be on the Angels his whole career, you think?
Yeah, well, he signed a contract pretty much to do that.
Wow.
Scott asked how many Sharknadoes are there. I think the answer is not enough. Let's take a break. We'll be back and wrap up halftime right after this.
High fly, right center field, playable. New and Rutenbar coming together. Carter's there first. He's got it. And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
This is halftime.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Enclaves at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off and 4.9% financing for up to 84 months on this luxurious third-row SUV. Or drive the brand-new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited-time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
Spring showers bring April flowers, and June heat brings the air you can wear. Well, don't sweat it. Call Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning and Plumbing Services. We service all brands and install York high-efficiency HVAC products. So for all your heating and air conditioning and plumbing needs, give Blaylock a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
For generations, Hardscrabble Country Club has been the heart of great golf in Fort Smith. For 100 years, it's where families connect, friendships grow, and traditions are passed down. From its historic fairways to the welcoming community, Hardscrabble is more than a club. It's home. Join us as we celebrate a century of memories and create new ones together. Hardscrabble Country Club. Tradition lives here.
Do you love fireworks? What if you could get paid to shoot them? J&M Displays is looking for part-time fireworks shooters to help put on incredible shows across Arkansas, Kansas, Missouri, and Nebraska. They'll provide free training, great daily pay, and a front row seat to some of the biggest fireworks shows of the region. And there's nothing like hearing the crowd cheer after a show you helped create. Ready to light up the night and your future? Go to jnmdisplays.com and click the Join the Team tab to get started today. J&M Displays, where the sky is the limit.
It's Kubota Orange Day sales event at Gray Brothers in Fort Smith and Poto. Whenever you're ready, we're ready with Kubota equipment in stock. Hay equipment to zero-turn mowers and Kubota tractors, from the small subcompact DX up to the large Kubota M7 cab tractor and everything in between. Why wait? When at Gray Brothers, it's in stock and on sale. That's Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a limit.
The spring allergy and hay fever seasons are here, and Law's Drugstore has what you need to safely take care of you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Lewis Automotive, celebrating over 80 years since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive. Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
A wrap-up segment here, and we'll take a phone call from Woods on the Lewis Automotive Hotline first. Woods, hey, what's up? Happy Friday.
Hey, good ball game last night.
Sure was, man. Can't argue with the outcome, that's for sure.
All right, and so I have 3 aunts that constantly talk to me, and I would love if you shouted them out. Lynn, Marcia, and Mary.
I gotta grab a pencil to write some names down here if I'm going to be quick about this. How many different people am I shouting out today, Woods?
Well, Lynn, Marcia, and Mary.
Marcy and Mary.
And
Hi, Marcy. Hi, Mary. All right. Is that?
They're going through cancer and hip surgery, so.
Well, I hope. Will they be listening and watching tonight?
They will.
All right, great.
They always listen. So that's the only reason I called in. So.
Okay. Well, let's have a good game, Woods. And Marcy and Mary, I hope the treatments go well, and we'll be thinking of you. And shout out from Woods and go Hogs. Thanks, Woods. All right, Matt, we're gonna miss you next week.
Well, it was the year of the Dirk. It was a little bit Dirkish this last year, and now it's I'm on to Jackie Robinson. So it's then we're Troy Polamalu Eve.
You can say 42 is also Damian Ruiz because he wears that for Arkansas.
Ronnie Lott, another great 42.
I am in my Tim Wakefield year. I just figured that out, that I am wearing Tim Wakefield's number as my age.
That's a good year, man. Looks good on you.
You know what that means? That means I'm like his knuckleball, very unsteady. I don't know which direction I'm going in. The wind will take me anywhere that it wants to go. Yeah, that's a tough way to live like a knuckleball, to just float through the wind.
A little turbulent.
I guess you just got to be zen if you're going to be a human knuckleball. Wakefield did kind of pitch like that.
He's another guy that passed on way too early. Was he a Hall of Very Good, Phil?
Wakefield, yeah. I would put him at Hall of Very Good. Franchise legend with Boston, part of 3 world championships. And, man, I also remember, was it Schilling that sort of announced he had cancer before he announced he had cancer himself? I think that was something that happened too. But, well, that would be a happy birthday for you too, man. That's a great thing that you actually get to be off on your birthday instead of us figuring out the day of your birthday that it's your birthday and that Amber Heard also celebrates with you. Well, not with you, but at the same time.
Jack Nicholson, another great that I have a birthday there. But Amber Heard, yeah, we were shocked when we found. I don't think Unit will ever forget that.
I've just been informed by Scott, the tortilla guy, if we're looking for movies with the most ever sequels, is that there have been 38 Godzilla films. There have been 38 different Godzilla films, 33 of them by the same company in Japan and 5 American films. It started in 1954. It is the longest-running film franchise in history. And Unit, you just wait until your halftime homework is all 38 Godzilla movies in order.
I'll be doing some AI watching or getting a synopsis.
That's right. You better get your Godzilla Spark Notes ready. Well, we'll see you later today for a 5:30 dugout show, 6 o'clock first pitch when Arkansas and Georgia do battle on the baseball diamond. And then I'll be with the Unit on Monday to recap the weekend. Ruskin and Zach are coming up in just a few moments. The Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast also ready to go, too. We want to thank Bath Makeover of Arkansas for the halftime playlist today. Make sure you call 1-800-NEW-BATH. 1-800-NEWBATH. They want you to be one of their 50 homes to participate in the Spring Into Savings event. 50% off installation of a new bathtub or shower. You can go to bathmakeoverar.com to learn more. Matt, have a great birthday and a great week. Unit, I'll see you on Monday. And for Matt and Christian, I'm Phil. Thanks for tuning in. That's halftime. Now have yourself a great Friday.